Gentlemen, it has been a very interesting few days. Yesterday threw up a pretty interesting situation where if we win, we can quite literally put it back in our own hands as long as we stay perfect from now till the end of the season. But this game is probably the biggest game of the three, let's be real, because it is, of course, the final derby match of the season against our fiercest rivals. For a lot of reasons, this carries a lot of weight. What's good? What's happening? Hope yous are well. It's game day. It's a very... the nerves are here for obvious reasons, right? Rangers, we don't really get very many victories against, at least over the last few kind of seasons. It's not really been the easiest task. We've had a few decent draws here and there, and obviously we beat them in the cup, which is always a nice and funny surprise, but we were not particularly the favoured team in that match, so this one throws up a few interesting angles, let's be honest with you, right? Rangers are going to come here with one goal and one goal alone, stop us from winning the title. If they can beat us, that pretty much would wrap it up. I mean, it's not technically dead mathematically, but it would give Hearts the major incentive to basically kick on and win the title for there. Let's be fully honest. We always shout out the first few in chat, so we always say hello to you. It's nice to see you. As always, Chateau, hope you're well, my guy. You are up fucking early for this one, so got to respect it regardless. Nice to see you as well, Pedro. Hope you're enjoying yourself as well. A win is as simple as that. Let's start aggressive and finish aggressive. We need goals, so come on. I mean, goals maybe not as important, especially with the fact that, I mean, like I said, if you haven't seen the other result yesterday, Motherwell managed to get a point against Hearts, so the gap is just very slightly closed if Celtic can pick up all 3 points today, but 3 points would be the minimum. A draw, again, keeps us in the title fight and would kind of just about keep it in our hands, but it means that obviously come that final match day against Hearts, we would need to beat them by whatever goal difference is available, and obviously with us having to go to Fir Park and take on a very strong defensive Motherwell side who just proved how good they were against a decent Hearts side, they have to go and get a home match against Falkirk, so in terms of goal difference, yeah, we're probably going to need to get one or two today. But, well, we've got about 5 minutes to kind of put up here. Nice to see you as well, Kevin. Hope you're well. We're going to pull up the lineups because it's an interesting one. I mean, I'm sure a few of you have probably already seen the kind of key talking point, but for those that haven't, have a little look. There you go. It's a pretty interesting one for us, but we've not started with Tenecte North Forest, which is a bit of a surprise. It seems that we're going to go with that in camp into midfield that seemed to work a little bit more effectively in extra time against St Mirren. If anyone can remember the formation that we played with that counter high press, with the exception of obviously any actual not being in the team for this one, so it's DAIZEN Maeda that starts up front, which I don't mind at all, as long as he can fucking score. That's the kind of main thing for us. If he keeps his chances, takes his chances and keeps his composure when those chances come, then that should be something that we can maybe count on, especially with the quick balls in behind. We know that Rangers have big defenders that can take a very awkward touch now and then. They don't like to be under pressure a lot of the time, so if Celtic can keep the pressure on them, that's kind of the minimum that we can hope for. But the team is, as you would expect, Sinisalo starts in between the sticks, Scales and Trusty as our two centre backs. The full backs are our strongest two, which is always nice to see. Kieran Tierney and Johnston, who's getting back up to fitness, and that's nice to see. Obviously Arne McGregor holding the midfield too, which is an interesting one, with of course Nygren playing as a central attacking more advanced forward up front. But like we just touched on, McCowan will be starting on the left hand side with the Yang starting on the right, and DAIZEN Maeda will be starting centrally through the middle. So it's going to throw up some interesting situations for sure. I mean, as you would expect, Celtic Park is absolutely just packed out. I don't think there will be a single seat that doesn't have an arse on it, at least at some point during this game. But man, the atmosphere seems very much good. Everyone seems in decent form. It's just a case of who's got the fucking ability to dig in and get the result. If Celtic can run with it early, that would be nice. I mean, early starts tend to kind of catch teams like Rangers out if you can get a goal against them early anyway. But again, Rangers' side isn't exactly an easy one to beat, especially away from home. If you're looking at teams in that terms of form, Rangers are technically the strongest, especially with Hearts making that mistake yesterday at Fir Park. But their lineup is as you would expect. Everyone knows that it's Butland in between the sticks, but it's Romens, Fernandez, Jaga. I still have no idea how you actually pronounce his name. You hear like the different commentators give him different pronunciations. But it's Nasser Jaga that starts as the other centre back on the right hand side. James Tavernier starts on the right hand kind of side of the full-backs, but you would expect him to kind of dart up, especially if they've got Antman playing there instead of kind of a more traditional winger that they like to use in someone like Sterling. So Antman's obviously going to drop in a bit more central and let Tavernier do a lot of kind of overlapping runs, you would imagine. Diamonde, Conor Barron and Jukwani are the three midfielders for them, though, with Mikey Moore and Chernite, who was a bit of a menace here last time with that brace. So if he can not do that again, that would be fucking fantastic. If they can just stay away from our net all in, that'd be great. That'd be minted. But we're probably going to be under some pressure at points today. If you want a little look at the benches, there you go. You can take a wee gander there, and of course you know the managers very well by now. For Rangers it's Danny Rowe, and for us, of course, it's the man who has quite literally saved our season as of now, Martin O'Neill. So if he can get us a win today, it would be quite simply massive for the title. But we've got about 2 or 3 minutes before we're kicking off here. The boys are in the side, the tifo's coming out in the corner, and I'll tell you now, that looks absolutely beautiful. You know that Dylan's there, for those that obviously don't know. One of our moderators is in that end. He'll be enjoying himself, you would imagine. Oh, it's all about getting the job done here today, boys. Even if it is a scrappy win, it's just got to be 3 fucking points. If we can do that, it puts us very much in a favourable position. Oh, fucking course you do this. I swear to God, this stupid fucking site, man. And then I do that, and then it works magically, no problem at all. But there's a look at the table before we kick off. Like we said, if we win, we close the gap to 1. We're still technically behind in the title fight, but again, with the factored kind of addition that we play Hearts in the final day, as long as we're within that touching distance, we know that a win would outright take us towards that. So it's just about getting the job done today, man. If we can, fantastic. But we know how difficult this place can be, especially if you get 60 minutes in and you've had 20-30 shots and nothing's really changed. Nice to see you, Kev, as always, mate. Any of these blasters, that would be the kind of minimum at the very least. But for those that are just coming into chat, for those that are just joining us, nice to see you. By the way, we'll read out the lineups at least for us one last time. I mean, we'll fight it out until the end. It's pretty much the best kind of antithesis of what our season has been. We have not been the best team in a lot of aspects this season, but we've dug our heels in and we've made sure that we're there. That is all that really matters, and as long as we can keep ourselves in the fight, then it's as good as we can ask. But again, it comes down to basic fundamentals. Don't do anything silly. Make sure that you take the chances when they come, because again, against Hibs last week, it was not particularly fun to watch, and it's not as if we're going to have a lot of time to reset ourselves after this match, because in 3 days we're straight to Villa Park and we're doing this all over again in an equally tough, if not tougher, challenge. So it does not get easy from this point, but you're starting off on a harder foot here. You get 3 points, you can kick on and get what's needed. But for one last time, lineups for Celtic: Sinisalo starts in between the sticks. We need a massive performance out of him, just straight up. If we're going to concede chances, he's going to need to be very switched on today. Trusty and Scales are 2 centre backs. Tierney and Johnston are full backs, and pretty much as you would expect in the midfield, it is as is. McGregor, Arn starting either side and left and right hand side respectively, and Benjamin Nygren starting as a central attacking midfielder. But no Tenecte and no Forrest, at least to start with. It's McCowan that will be on that left hand side, probably to counteract that thing that we just talked about with the Rangers, with Antman dropping in. McCowan will most likely match that, so Tierney and Tav will be a lot of they'll be in front of each other quite a lot, you would imagine. But the rest of the team, yep, pretty much as you would expect. Jan on that right hand side, and of course DAIZEN starting centrally through the middle. For Rangers, it's Butland in between the sticks. Fernandez and Jega as their 2 centre backs. Tavernier and Robbins as their full backs. They've got Conor Barron, Shukwani and Diamonde playing in that midfield 3, with Antman and Moore starting either side on the flanks, and Chernite, who was again a very key player for them in that second half, because again Celtic had a brilliant 45 minutes and then fell away with a vengeance in the second, and both teams have been very much victims of that situation this season, where they have great 45-minute stints and follow up with the worst 45-minute stint you'll ever see in your life. So this game is not open or closed. It doesn't matter what score it is. If it's 1 or 2-0, either team can make the mistake of slitting up and letting the other one back into this game. So it's just a case of who's got the composure, and more importantly, do Celtic just have the fucking minerals to get the job done? Because like we said, if we don't win this, the minimum's a draw. But if we lose, chances are the title is over, unless of course Hearts make a massive error against Falkirk at home in a few days from now. But like we said, it just comes down to us being able to do the necessary things. The stats will come up at some point. Once that does, obviously, I'll switch over so you can see it. Straight from the start, couldn't have put it better myself, Austin. But it will be Rangers to kick us off. All we can really hope for is a decent performance, but we're underway. Come on, boys. Decent performance is all we can fucking ask for, man. I'll try my best to limit the swearing as much as possible, but you know what happens as soon as we concede a chance. Rangers immediately try and kind of pop it in behind, but it pops up off of Tavernier and out behind for a goal kick for us straight away. But as calm as a start as you could ask, I suppose, for Celtic's perspective. If they're going to be going long balls throughout the entire game, that would do us ideally. And case in point, I mean, letting ourselves get pressed a bit too easily there. Just a bit of a step in from Ant, and Tierney just doesn't necessarily get away with it. Bounces half out for another goal kick, so we're fine in that sense. But yeah, there we go. No stats yet because there hasn't been a shot or a key chance. So once that happens, you'll probably get an updated stat count. But we're already trying to move forward. That's a bit better from us immediately. Shifted forward by Nygren. Tierney's going to bomb down that left hand side. He's up against that fullback, like we said. Antman won't really be too much of a factor in this one. He'll be more or less marked out by McCowan. So those two fullbacks will be seeing the face of each other quite a lot during this game. That's a nice little talk. No, really nice taking talk actually from Nygren. It's still dangerous from us, but well held up by Rangers. I mean, the noise is there, the passion is absolutely there. Like I said, there is not a single seat that does not have a shirt representing it in some way, form or another. It's a decent turnout in the away end for the Rangers fans as well. They know their season's done, but they can do the next best thing, which is kill ours. So they know exactly what they need to do. Still no stats. That's kind of irritating. Until now, you just have like a nice little view of our team. At least for those that are coming in anyway. Well, here's the slight press from Maeda. Nearly works out there. Doesn't necessarily win it, although we do win the rebounded header from the clearance and take it down well enough. I don't mind that. Has to be better there, just a tiny bit better. Doesn't necessarily snatch on it, and it's allowed Rangers to kind of break away here. But Tierney does well to step in towards the space, and Maeda's done fucking brilliantly to steal in. This is where his pressing game can come in use. Does well to get in behind, opens up some lanes for Celtic to break into. We might just go for range. We do go from range, and Butland spills it. It's taken down by Maeda, and I think he either would have been offside, and if he was, then it wouldn't have been the greatest first touch. But first shot of the game goes Celtic's way. It's a great steal for Maeda. He's going to be a very crucial cog in the machine for us today if that's going to work out. It was a nice little pass into space. He probably shouldn't have shot for that far out on, but it kind of divots and dips a little bit, makes it harder for Butland to get on the end of, and nearly works out in our favour there. There should be some stats now. There we are. So you can actually see what's going on. There you are. Fantastic. Apologies for that minor lag spike. Have you seen that? Maeda's on the press again. Nearly catches Butland out a second time, but he gets out for a throw-in. I was going to say it was a really bad throw-in, but we're still trying to win the ball. Maeda's again trying to force his way in. There's a bit of an awkward press. That's, yeah, no. Someone stayed down there and it's allowed Rangers to go forward, and it's pretty much a 2v3 now. That could be bad. Rangers have the overlap chance from range. It's a big chance for them. You got to say, they probably should have scored it. Thanks, Throat, for fucking doing this. Had a major voice crack there. That was fun. Well, both teams have had respectable chances now. Rangers couldn't put that one on target, and Celtic had a half crack for range. Shows that both teams know that they have a lot to play for here. Case in point. That could have been something for us. It's got to be a foul, surely, yeah. Jimmy, you're just getting a bit too handsy. Or was it Diamande? One of the two of them. It was Diamande. Quickly taken by McGregor, just pops it back to Scales. Calm enough, played in behind. Passing is decent enough. We're not doing anything silly here, but Rangers are having a pretty easy time of being able to force us to make simple passes look a little bit less simple than intended, but we're keeping the press on them if we do give the ball away, which is nice, and we've got a throw in from it and gets a bit of a roar from the home crowd, which is nice. You're very optimistic going for a 19-0. I just seen that comment there. Jesus Christ, man. Fair enough. When there's a cross into the box, it could be half dangerous. Celtic might be able to get on the end of this still. We do well enough to do that. Johnston, well kept in. Good little touch at the byline to keep it in play. And Celtic do really... Oh, should have took a touch there though. You could see his vision. He wanted to leave it in hopes that either Maeda or McGregor in behind him would have been able to run on it, but very well seen by a blue shirt. But Celtic are still playing a very quick game here, trying to make it hard and awkward for them. Negron tries to dance into the box but only gets about 10 yards forward before it's blocked, goes back towards McGregor. His touch is a little loose, recovers it well enough. Celtic in a good area, but again, deflected again, and third time's the charm for Rangers. They get out in the end, but Celtic are still trying to force the issue. Tierney tries to win the pop-up, does win the pop-up, and after 2 or 3 bounce around, it takes another pop-up. That has somehow bounced Rangers' way. Celtic try and get the way and actually do very good to win that back, and a fucking excellent body work there. Spins his man, gets on the ball, no physical contact really there, just clean, fucking effective challenging. Nice to see you guys, hope you're well. Likewise with you, Lindsay, hope you're well as well. Being on VR, going to be a long day. Well, as long as we don't give them a reason to use it, I suppose it won't be too bad, but should it happen, then it'll be interesting at the very least. I suppose that would probably be the way to say it, right? It's a kind of high octane start for both sides, and they're trying their best to press in their own ways, which is nice. But again, the nerves are there for us because we know exactly what's at stake. Like, a draw isn't worst case scenario. Like, if it stays 0-0, it's not the worst, it's just as is basically, but ideally that we know that getting that 3 points could be absolutely massive for us, and Rangers will be aware of that. For them, it's more or less about damage limitation for there, because if they lose this game, then realistically it fully consigns them to third. And I said, oh, that could have been an awkward deflection. It depended on where it went off of that little kind of bounce off the inside of the Rangers man. Tierney did well to get the cross in, but for Rangers, his luck, it was just a bit more in their favour. Bounces straight towards Butland's path, but Celtic immediately go in the press from the play out. Antman's under pressure from Young, and he's been tripped up. Easy foul there for him. A few kind of half-hearted appeals, but Young's not really one of those doing that. It's an awkward header into the midfield, and Rangers should just about gather it, but they're again putting themselves under pressure that they're not really sure what to do with. That's a awkward, again, just a bit slack on the trip up there, and we kind of put the ball away in frustration, which is honestly fair. You're not bad, guys. Well, that's nice to hear, my guy. Your nerves can't take it. You're honestly doing a kidney to beat these cunts today. A noble sacrifice, I must say. Well, I mean, we have started the better of the two sides, although I'm saying that with a kind of pinch of salt, because it's not as if any team's really taken control of the game and dominated. Celtic have had more of the ball. But Rangers are dealing well with the press. You've got to give them credit, besides that kind of initial mistake that they gave to Maeda in the second minute, really. They've not really allowed him to get close. But he's staying with his man, and it's making it really easy for our midfield to get on that press and win the ball back, which is really good to see. Although Sinisalo put himself under a bit of pressure though. Johnston calmly gets that one out for the back, although Celtic are under pressure. That's really well dealt with, although he's again getting bodied and gives the ball away in a very poor manner. That has to be said. Rangers might just be able to dance into the box. Big chance for them. It's a oh, fucking hell, man. Case in point, Rangers are taking the lead. It's a stupid error in the midfield. We give them a fucking easy run at the goal and Rangers have scored. That's as silly as fuck. Sinisalo overcommits for the first one and it's an easy tap in for Moore on the second. Just, oh, that's shit. That's the nicest way to say it. It's just really bad. It really came down to what our defenders were going to be able to do today, and that's just proving exactly what they were going to do. Be fucking useless like they have been for most of the season. Well done, lads. I don't understand what the fuck he was doing there, man. He's getting tripped and bundled. They're trying to appeal for a foul. I don't know what the fuck Trusty's doing there defensively. It bounces off his scales. He does a pirouette looking at nobody. And Moore just gets on the end of a tap-in because Sinisalo dived at thin air, I guess. It's just silly from all fucking three key defensive pieces. Trusty doesn't mark his fucking man. Scales doesn't he get the touch that he was looking for. It just bounces off him and he loses track of it doing a fucking ballerina spin. And Sinisalo overcommits for the first shot so he can't get into position for the second, and it's a tap-in at the near post. It is just unbelievable, man. Excellent start. Literally their first real shot on target and it's gone in. Of course it fucking has. We played the ball in behind. Maeda's going to try his best to get there. Tries to go for an early cross and it's cleared away. It's just, of course, when we actually really needed to put in a decent performance, we go behind with our first shot conceded in the toilet, man. Smashing. Well, it's all about the response for here. I said the minimum we need out of this game is a draw. No foul for that. Okay, right, cool. Referee's having a mirror already with that one as well. He stayed down, which isn't nice because that's just going to take him out of play, and Turn Rangers will get it out for a throw-in instead. I mean, I think if we lose this match, I think a lot of people will pretty much consign ourselves to the fact that this league is done. That's out for a goal kick from the crosser, not exactly ideal. But I mean, I suppose you're right, but again, Celtic have a fucking habit of taking a while to get the breakthrough goal, and a habit of conceding really shitty ones that we just hand to other teams, and that is a prime example of that. It wasn't any skill for Rangers' perspective, it was just us giving the ball away and then our defenders being fucking stupid again. Same old, same old. Here comes Rangers again down the flank. They're going to be looking for any extra openings they can, take advantage while we're down on our luck, and again we're trying to dance around and do dribbling in our own final third. Can you fuckers just stop with that, man? You're not playing like prime Barcelona, man. You're not even playing like prime fucking Barrow right now. Stupid shit right there, man, has to be said. Why do you only ever come in here, man? Like, time that man out, please. He wasn't in here fucking the last 2 match days when Rangers were getting bumped, no, was he? They only show up when it doesn't matter. And we have the polar opposite fucking problem, we don't show up when it does. So dig the fuck in, boys. You need to at least get yourselves back into this game. If you go in it all square at half time, it's not the worst case scenario, but you need to play with a bit more fucking gumption at the least. Tav goes for a long switch. Trusty again makes a fucking melee. What are you doing, Trusty, for fuck's sake? There's another. Oh, thank fuck Scales wakes up this time. Get Trusty off at half time. Useless fucking moron, man. You had about 10 fucking minutes to see where that was going out of the air. Doesn't he deal with it? Doesn't he deal with Chermiti? Falls and decks it, and if it isn't for Scales getting on the end of that fucking second shot, from again, Sinisalo not reacting to the first shot, fuck off, Trusty, mate. You're actual gash. Fucking twice in 10 minutes you've been spun like a fucking... Just nah. That replay does not fucking save him in the slightest, man. That is despicable fucking shit. What the fuck, man? Biggest game of your goddamn fucking career and you've walked out like you're fucking still in the dressing room, lad. Like, can you wake the fuck up now? You've had 2 major wake-up calls. Use them and fucking kick on for you, because you do that shit again, there is no need to keep you on the fucking pitch. Just throw some random fucking child for the goddamn stands in between the fucking defensive lines. You'd have more capability and composure then. For whatever reason, we're not marking that, so Tavernier's just going to have about 20 fucking yards of space. Tierney, you are aware that McCowan's trying to do his job and mark that, and now you need to step in there. Trusty wins the second header, at the very least he shows up that fucking time. And nobody's there to get on the fucking rebound, because, well, dude, it's going to be one of those games, you can tell. honestly not wrong, did they? Now this is a very depressing soccer. Oh my god, Trusty again, man. This fucking guy. Like, Chermiti is just spinning him every fucking time, man. Like, can we either switch Scales and Trusty around so Scales has to mark him? Because I'm genuinely not impressed at all. Trusty's been fucking shit. 15 minutes into this game, we had a very good opening 5 minutes and then it fell away very quickly. I suppose the good news is if we do lose this game, then I don't actually really need to cover the last 2 matches. I mean, unless obviously Hearts lose to Falkirk, there is no reason at all to care. You'll get me for the cup final and that would be it. Let's see where this corner goes. Could be interesting, and we have been fucking god awful on set pieces just in general, so are the ones that are playing like they're still in the fucking title fight. We're completely and utterly just not out of it. It's a shit header. He could have done better to at least get it on target. I think Fernandez was the one that was on. One of the two of them. It was Fernandez. He just doesn't really set his neck right and it just bounces out towards the side. That's a good little dribble and run. Good little take. Get it through the space. Maeda's done well to body his man. Big fucking chance for DAIZEN and he's fucking missed a gate. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Fuck this guy, man. Just go. Like, fuck's sake, mate. Like, you genuinely have done this every time. You did it against Hibs when we were down to 10 men, like fucking 6 times as well. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper and you decide, I'm just going to miss the target entirely. I feel so bad for Yang there. He does so fucking well to get that pass in. And Maeda just does Maeda things. He's either going to bury it top corner or he's going to miss the goal entirely, and he opts to fucking miss the goal entirely. There's sitter number 2. So we're really just fucking rubbing the salt in the woods. This is the epitome of what our entire season has been. Fuck's sake, man. Should have been the equaliser there, but of course that's what happens when you play a left winger as a striker, I guess. I'm going to need to try and force the issue where we can, not played up and bobbled around. It's a good steal for Skills and apparently there's a foul in there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I wouldn't say McCowan's done too much wrong in the early stages of this game, although to be fair, I don't understand what the fuck O'Neill was doing playing McCowan as a natural winger when we have Tenekte on the fucking bench. Well, I know he's not in form right now, the Tunisian, by any form, but it's better to have someone who's naturally in that position rather than someone who isn't. Because McCowan has now played as basically all across the midfield, left back and right back. He's played left fucking wing, right mid. But I understand the kid's versatile, but like, come on to Christ. Asking a bit too much. That's a good steal in the midfield for McGregor. Please move that faster. That could be something. Of course, the touch is fucking woeful. Why am I even surprised? We do our best to try and put the pressure on to keep it in the final third. At least we're not totally switched off. It's a good step, and I think it's going to be a throw-in for Rangers anyway, though. I would usually stay for the last 2, but there isn't anything to really fight for. Like, if we lose this, and obviously, like I said, it depends on obviously what happens between Hearts and Falkirk, right, realistically. So you might get me for the next game just in case, but ain't no way in hell I'd be streaming the last game lamely just watching it to see Hearts lift the trophy. I'll just skip that entirely if you don't mind. No fucking point in watching that shit. Well, one of the most undeserved title winners of all fucking time, man. Good for the neutral, that's about it. That's an awkward touch in the midfield, at least we win it. But that's an over extra. That could be a card, you know. At the very least a yellow, and a yellow will be coming out for Rangers. A bit of an overextension there for Chermiti. I think he knew as soon as he committed that it was definitely at least a booking. Catches the top of my header there, that's definitely a foul. I suppose that's the one good thing Maeda's done. His movement's been pretty good, but he really needs to fucking switch on the shooting boots for his own sake. Fair enough, Pedro. It's a good comparison, actually. know, there's someone down for Rangers. Honestly, I didn't see what happened off the ball, I'll be honest. No, I mean, I don't really say there's too much in that. I think they both kind of... Oh wait, it was for that. Okay, I was going to say it was for that film, no. Off the ball, definitely, yeah. We push and pull for both of them, though. As you live in Nottingham, we'll be watching them until the end of the season. I respect it. I mean, I'll still watch the games, I just no point being live for them, that's what I'm saying. Unless we're still in the fight. But in the very least, we need a goal. That is the absolute fucking minimum. Hearts fans are the only ones that are benefiting right now. But just one really silly fucking giveaway in the midfield is why we're behind right now. That plus Trusty being an absolute fucking twat in defence and not really positioning himself right in Scales. Not covering himself in glory with the block, although that's a little less blameworthy than Trusty's error. We need a big rest of the game for all of these players, and I mean, like Maeda's trying, that's like one thing I can say, that's good for Negrin there actually, that could be something if we move it fast enough into space out towards the flank. And the pass bounces off of the first man, that's not exactly ideal. Romans just doesn't really get a hold of it, at least it's out towards the edge of the area. Tierney get a cross in, big man. Does get a cross in, and we put the softest fucking header imaginable in. Please tell me that is a corner. It's not even a corner, is it? What was that, Benji boy, man? Like, they're like, case in point, we just, like, it's an open header basically, and he just doesn't fucking get anything close on it. Way past the far post and behind for a goal kick. Well, at least you all still have optimism, that's good. I've got that optimism myself, because I know, like, if it's two behind, that's when I'm kind of like, right, fuck it, it's done and dusted, man. But we really cannot afford to let that next, see that saying the next goal is the all-encompassing important goal of the game. It very much is here, because either Celtic equalise and have the momentum to swing in their favour, or alternatively, we don't. Oh, that's a big chance! Is that going in? It has! We're back in the fucking game! Yes! Thank you fucking Christ, man. Thank you fucking Christ. Thank you fucking Christ. Thank you fucking... Oh my god, man. What? Oh my... This is fucking... Like, dude. We literally just talked about how we fucking needed it and we've got it. I'm just making sure there's no bullshit. The ball in behind it is, no, it's perfectly fine. There's no way that won't stand. Yang is completely on as well. It should fucking stand. We're back in the fucking game. I just had to be sure because I wasn't sure if, like, Arn was on side for the ball in, but he's miles on. That will fucking stand. We're back in the fucking game. Thank you, Christ above, man. Do not fuck it from here, gentlemen. You've got the fucking spin. Yang for the second game at Paradise against Rangers scores a very crucial goal. Why are you... No, do not even fucking attempt, man. You better just move on with that. They're apparently trying to check it for something. Hold on. Beaton's trying to do Beaton things. There's no reason why it should be. That's why I was worried. It was in case it was offside, but it stands. It should be fine. It should be fine. There's no reason it fucking shouldn't be. They're going to try and use the whole, oh, Butland was blindsided, but he wasn't getting fucking near it anyway, so... What are you talking about? Like, he's like that fucking side of the goal, so there's no way that should get disallowed. If it does, you know exactly what's happened. Good. I was going to say, there's no way in fucking hell, right? I'd understand it if Butland was in the middle of the goal, but he's like on the way to the left. Like, if Jan plays it to that space, sure, valid, you've got a point, but nah. Not even worth checking, but they tried to anyway. It stands, doesn't fucking matter. It wasn't for onside, guys. They were checking to see if Butland was blindsided by one of the players, but... Nah. He's way out. It's actually a Rangers man that's technically more in front of him than the Celtic man anyway. Like, he runs across and... Yeah, it's definitely fine. Okay. This is good. This is what we needed. This is somewhat better. I don't even remember how I reacted. I think I just said thank fuck for that like 20 times, didn't I? Right. That makes that miss for Maeda slightly more irritating now, because we could technically be back in this game, but either way, something to fucking smile about. Let's go, boys. No, don't know what you're doing there, big man. You've got to stay in the fight, and he does stay in the fight. Makes it awkward, takes a bit of a bobble. That's going to be a foul done. Do apologise for the slightly delayed reaction. I was very much like, what the fuck happened there? Very weird 25 minutes. I mean, Rangers have not done anything of particular note in the last 10 minutes or so, but you'd say they've had some very good chances. Likewise, Celtic have pretty much put the same boat. That could be something if we can move it. Not the greatest first touch for Maeda, although the ball out is, oh, for fuck's sake, man. Too many times we've seen you give that one away, big man. You've got to keep it on the fucking ground. And then just another off the ball push, Jesus. Rangers are going to go for the long switch and try and find Antman, although it's going to be a bit of a run for the Finn if it's, yep, now go up, we'll bounce out for a throw-in. We'll take that every day of the week. More of that, please, for them. That'd be nice. I'm not going to read that last one, for many obvious reasons. Been saying it for a while. Young is a good utility player, and he's switched on for us. So like that's all we can really fucking ask, man. We needed something. Rangers are really making it awkward for themselves. How the fuck does that work out for them there? Bro, God just literally went have that, and they're into the box again. It's an awkward touch, and again, Scales had to get something on it, and he nearly put it towards his own fucking net, in fairness. Thankfully for us, it's spindled way over the goal, and he did have to get the touch, otherwise, again, Trinity would have been there for an easy tap-in, because Trusty doesn't know how to mark shit. Yeah, it's just showing like the slow-mo of that Celtic goal back to see who's blindsided. Nobody's blindsiding them, it's fine. Another big chance for Rangers though, set-piece opportunity. Nah, fair point, guys, to be honest. Both managers in the dugout, they've had to work with some limited features. Certainly O'Neill's had to work with basically nothing. He's working with very limited resources and still keeping us somewhat alive, but that's a good steal for Celtic, and it's actually opened up very fucking vastly for a 4v3 break now. You've got to take advantage of this, boys. Played into space, big chance for Celtic, and it's a shit touch on the edge, man. McCowan, what the fuck are you doing, lad? Look, Nygren's reaction there is, it's the first time I've seen that man genuinely, like, pissed off. Because he plays a great ball through, and then McCowan's first instinct is to just try and cut it back when you had all the time in the world to just keep running. Like I said, I don't understand why he's been started in this match. It's a really confusing fucking call to make. Like, Tenecte in the second half, or Forrest at least, please. He's not dropping into the midfield to help anyone else out, so what the fuck is his point here? Like, I'm really trying to be optimistic. He's put in some decent challenges and alright passes, but again, if the end product isn't there, then why the fuck is he there in the first place? No, he's not big enough for the physicality as well. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. It's probably why he's been switched over to the right hand side, so he doesn't, well, he has the less physical fallback and Romens to deal with rather than Tav. Because like Jan can take Tav on, and look at him, gets away from his man, really good ball into space. I really like Jan. He's switched the fuck on over the last 10-15 minutes, it's good to see. Nice little spindle into space, gets pinned out from Scales to Trusty. Trusty picks out a good pass. There's time for a quick cut in and cross if we want to go for it, but instead we just cut it in. No cross to follow, but we're still playing a very dangerous high line that could be either really good for us or really bad depending on where this ball goes. It's into a very half dangerous area, but doesn't find anyone particularly threatening. Celtic try their best to force it. I think it was offside anyway, so I don't think it would have mattered even if that other shot did come in. And yep, flag's been raised. So they escaped with that one. Well, kind of going through the detrimentals of this little break and play, please consider leaving a like on the stream if you're new here. It's the best thing you can do to help the channel out. And obviously subscribe if you haven't, that would be very nice. We're trying to get to 1888 by the end of the season. That's a good ball out towards the far side actually for Rangers, although the pass in behind less so. Let's say beside that 5-minute stint where Rangers are engaged in the press, Celtic have been the better side, but it's the same old. Well, we're not taking the chances when they've came, and in turn it's not put us in the best position. It's basically as it started though, 1 apiece is not the worst. Like I said, if we draw, still in the title fight. Still within that 3 points, but it would just basically be a barrel of goal difference between us and Hearts between now and the end of the season if it stays as is, which isn't the worst case scenario, but like we just touched on, our issue this split has been the lack of goals we've scored. So we just have to be a bit more switched on fundamentally in that sense. Good little break and play if we can steal it. How's that a fucking foul for them? I'm confused. It's like 3 of them were in amongst it. I suppose Rangers just get the luck of the draw there, fair enough. The worst midfield since 1995. I wouldn't say he's been miserably bad. It's just that he's not playing in that position. Like again, if you look where McCowan is, he's dropped in behind Maeda rather than like alongside him, like where Yang is. Like Yang's kind of doing like a circle running behind. Do calm about that if there is too much of that going on. I've seen one comment earlier on that was kind of like that could be a good steal for us. That's a really good steal for McGregor. Good hustle capping, that's good. And that should be a foul on the kind of second touch off as well. Yep, there we go. McGregor's just going to try and take that one quickly, and Johnston takes like a half second to realise that it was in play, but recovers well enough and we'll get a throw in from it, which isn't too bad. Should definitely try to keep him there. Are you talking about for Rangers? I mean, I think it would be pretty... It depends on how much they're actually wanting for him first and foremost, right? And more importantly for the wages, because Spurs academy players and all that, they tend to have pretty decent wages. It's a good half an hour or so. I don't think both sides will be too annoyed with their performance. I think a draw is about fair on the balance of play so far. But Celtic will feel a wee bit hard done by. It's good for Scales, tries to pop it in behind, and as soon as I give you a compliment for a good touch, your next touch is woeful. The pass is not very accurate at all, to be frankly honest, but Celtic again still keeping the press alive. Romans tries to pop it in behind. Under a bit of pressure, it looked like it came off him last, and it did. Celtic are trying to take it quickly, but the referee says, fuck that, you're holding it up. Honestly, I cannot argue with it. And eventually the ball gets moving again. Nice little pop and move. That could have worked out, and honestly still could have worked out. Jesus Christ, there was a bit of an awareness for 2 of the players there on both ends of the team. Rangers are going to try and send this one forward. Tierney's on a chase down against Chermiti and gets in front of him. Good bit of hustling there, big man. That's what we love to see. Might have kneecaps made out of glass, but he runs like he glides on it. That's fucking brilliant. The good old Evan Doubt and get it the fuck out approach. I think it's just funny watching a team presume that they're that safe in the Premier League that they spend like $1.5 billion on a stadium just to get relegated like 3-4 seasons later. That's what you get for disconnecting for your history. Let's see where this throw into the box goes. Actually in a very dangerous area depending on where this bounce goes. Okay, still technically dangerous, bounces around. There's a Rangers player down in the box and it's still somehow in play. Latches cannot. But there's still a Rangers player down in the box. Like, why isn't the play being fucking stopped? Yeah, and one Celtic clearly, but as soon as we get it away, as soon as that shot, instantly you fucking stop to check on him. Why not do that? If it's a head knock, you're meant to stop the game instantly, right? got to let them have their chance though. He doesn't even get hit in the fucking head. Maybe on the way... Oh, actually, it does on the way down. Not from like the kind of jump up, but on the way down, Jan catches him in the back, the sidearm. I think Negrin needs to come off. His passing hasn't been too bad, but McCowan is definitely a change that I agree with 100%, David. It's not because he's playing bad either, it's just he's not positionally inclined, and I would rather have a winger that can cut in and cross rather than a midfielder who can cut in and maybe occasionally lay it across the line. You feel like you could get Yang into his natural position on that right hand side, get Tenecti on the left or even Forrest on the left, and you can do a bit more damage that way, but Rangers are trying to break forward again here. That's a decent ball out, and once again Tierney takes no risks, gets in front of it, sticks his leg out and punts it as far the fuck away from the goal as possible. So for a throw in on that far side, Tavernier will be the one to take it and throw it in. Let's see where this one's going to go into the box. It's in a dangerous-ish area. They're definitely going to go long with it, that's for sure. And then long they go. That's a slight awkward one. Johnston. Yep, okay, that's fair enough. Johnston just puts it behind for a corner. If in doubt, I suppose you better play it safe there. He probably could have hooked it away to kind of counteract it being a corner, but it's better safe than sorry in that situation. But it means we have to defend yet again. Another set piece. It's been a very even game in a lot of regards. Both teams have had chances, both teams have had stints on the ball. I wouldn't say either team's taking the ropes of the game, that's for damn sure. Ball was whipped in with a lot of pace towards the back end over everybody, and I think it was out of play before he'd even got a touch on it. But goal kick for us, Kamenov. Anybody watch Watchalong Forest the other night in the Europa League? Yeah, it was a pretty good performance for them, to be fair. John McGinn brace. Always good to see a John McGinn brace. That could be something. Never mind, the pass was like... Why is it any time I'm like, hey, that's a good piece of play, the very next thing that happens is awful. There's a ball on the pitch, we're going to need to put them on off, yeah. The refs in the SFA have decided that this game will be a draw. Well, I mean, it's not as if the attacking ability of either team is going to be the caveat in this one so far. Rangers have had two big chances, scored one, you would say, and then Skillsy's block on the line basically for the other one. Likewise, Celtic have had at least three big chances now. Yang managed to put one in. Maeda's, to put it nicely, sitter. As well as a half crack for range for McCowan, which could have caught Butland out, but still in a slightly... It's not the worst ball into space, although Rangers will probably deal with that one. They do deal with that one. That's kind of unfortunate. Fuck's sake, man, the ball is just bouncing their way every time, man. There's another challenge that bounces Rangers' way, and that's not a foul. Come on, ref. What's going on here? I think it is... Wait, Johnston's getting booked for that? Fuck off, you absolute fuck it. Nah, I'm sorry, that's a yellow. That's a yellow. For what exactly? You've let challenges like that go the whole fucking match. How is that a yellow? He wins the fucking ball, ref. You're just looking for excuses to try and get our players booked, you absolute fucking... Yep, there you go. Well, that's the first real... Of course you've done that for no reason at all, referee. That's not a yellow card. He wins the fucking ball. He didn't touch the man until the ball was clearly away from him. But it's a yellow card because the referee doesn't like one of his precious players getting hurt, I suppose. Like, what the fuck is that? Soft. That's probably the nicest way to put them on. Again, I'm trying to keep myself as calm as possible for all of this, but that's not a booking, is it? Fuck. I don't think he would want to come to Celtic based on recent form and fixtures. Maybe towards the end of his career, give him another 2 or 3 years and he might be interested, but right now, probably not. Lindsay would be very optimistic thinking. It's a nice little break into play there, but of course we give it away, that's always fun. Rangers will just try and play a 1-2 around the back and then send it forward. Skill should just pop that back to Sinisalo on the chase back. If he gets there, he does, and indeed pops it back to Sinisalo. Not too much time left in this half, to be honest with you. I know, still insane that how much was it they managed to get him for? Like 3 million? Oh, that's good fucking feet. That could be really good! There's got to be a penalty there, referee! Something in it. Surely that is a big chance for Celtic again. I'm not sure what the fuck happened. But there was definitely a push in the box there. There should have probably been a shot they made about a second or so before that. Ball whipped into the box and Butland claims. I need to see the replay of that back because I swear there was contact in the box. And honestly, it might not have mattered because Maeda was offside, but he didn't touch the ball in fairness, so... He does get his shot pulled, you know. Like, that's not exactly a fucking... It won't get checked. Well, there's definitely contact. Although Maeda kind of backs up at it, so I could kind of get it on both fronts, to be honest with you. It's valid enough, I guess. That's not a free kick. Oh, but that's a free kick. This referee's a fucking prick. I'm sorry, man. Like, how is this happening every time? They can do what they want to us, nothing. We, like, step into them full every fucking time. I mean, it is a foul. But they just got away with that. Literally the same type of fucking thing, like 3 seconds earlier. Different strokes for different folks, though. And one feel like McGregor's not go. I mean, McGregor's had a relatively fine half. I wouldn't say he's been bad by any means. He's won some pretty good balls back, but just a little bit. What's the way can I say it? Delayed in his reactions, I suppose. There's another big set piece chance for Rangers though, and it's in a really good area. It's definitely going to be whipped in with a bit of oomph, especially if it's tough to take this one in. It's all about whippage here. Celtic can't really let anything silly happen, that's the absolute minimum, but they've got 2 Rangers shots on the edge of that box that they could just lay it after for a quick strike, or they could go just for a straight whippage, which is exactly what they do. It is a big chance and it goes over the bar for us, thankfully. Fuck's sake, man. Nice Tierney, there you go. That's how you slow the ball down, big man. Play it into space. Keep it fucking moving, boys. That's... Okay, maybe Nygren does need to maybe be a change, because that's like the second time in a row you've done that now, big man. Like, look up and use your fucking eyes. If you don't see a shot in green and white, don't just randomly pump it into a space in the field in the hopes that there might be. Just needlessly gave the ball away, but we got it back, so it's not all doom and gloom. We're playing very calmly around the left, but seems like we're content to try and get into half time with just that 1 goal apiece. Trusty pops it back to Sinisalo. Switched across calmly enough for Scales, he keeps it moving, that's decent enough. Come on, big man, shift it. Into 3rd or 4th gear at least, come on, that's decent. Out towards the byline, cut inside, Nygren's touch is respectable enough, does well to keep it under control and lays it off to Tierney. Scales pops it in behind. It's a lovely first touch actually. We can do damage here if we get the cross in, but we're just refusing to do that for whatever reason. And we give it away. Like, fantastic. You had like 4 opportunities to cross that and not one of you decided to take the gamble. What's the point in having 2 runners in the box then? Like, there's just a few very confusing aspects to that attack, but we still have the ball, so again, it's not all doom and gloom, but it is very confusing. Better for Scales that time, lays it half into space, got an overlap on that left hand side, you've got to go for a cross. Instead we try to cut it to the byline again, although to be fair that's well dealt with. There is a slight pull in the back, although he gets the shot away, so nothing's going to be given there. There's respect to VAR to try and force the issue, but it would have been a big ask for the South Korean to do anything more than just kind of pop it towards goal and a half hope. It's actually really good physicality for, I think, Diamonde there, that just kind of stood up towards the back and made it hard for Yang to get a more open angle on his shot. Again, I think both teams will say a point apiece as of now is probably fair on results. It's not been particularly great in a lot of aspects for Celtic, but we've had patches, the same way that Rangers have had patches of decent form between them. Celtic had probably the best opening stint of the game. Rangers had that kind of 10 to 20 minutes, and then the rest of that, the half, you'd say, has been a solid mix between the two. But Celtic know that, oh, fuck off, Trusty, come on, man. It's like the sun must be really fucking with him. That's the only thing that I can really think of, because every time the ball's going up into the air, he seems to really struggle with it on the bounce down. It was a good day for football, maybe the sun's shining just a bit too brightly for his lighting. Celtic retain that one calm enough. There we go, we'll take that. I think it was offside anyway, yep, flag car's going up, so... Okay, what the fuck is Diamonde like? Get out of the way, you twat. That's just a bit silly, man. And Celtic will maybe have one last dot forward to end the half. Might as well, right? Just throw it forward and see what happens. Nice little move from us. Actually, a really nice move from us. McGregor might just have a crack. Lays it off to the edge of the area instead, and we're just going to roll it around. McGregor, calm enough. And he blows for the... You blow for the whistle. This referee, by the way, man. He is... I'm sorry, there's something no right about that at all, man. Like, what the fuck do you mean you're blowing the whistle there? We're literally in their final third. We've got them pressed. We're in the middle of a chance. He's like, nah, bro, actually, we can't have that because that's against the script. Fair enough, I suppose. I mean, I don't think either team will be too pissed off or angled either side of it, right? I mean, Celtic gave Rangers the opening goal the same way that we basically got given the equaliser, with them setting off us, presuming that we wouldn't really come out and attack back, but obviously Jan got in the end of that really good cut across from on, so it's nice to see the Belgian getting in with an assist. That's always something to smile about, I suppose, but not really sure what to make of this one so far. I think Celtic have been the better side, although that's very slightly, if you're saying there's a pendulum swing, Celtic are just very slightly the favourites right now as it stands, but we really need to make changes. McCowan needs to come off. I think Trusty might genuinely need to be a change that's considered as well. Maybe in the second half with him facing away for the sun, it won't be as bad for him dealing with those high balls, because that is like, there was at least 3 times in that half, twice against Chernity in 2 minutes by the way, where the ball kind of bounced in from like above and he's just totally misread it and then not being able to really counteract the next move. So a big second half performance is the absolute minimum, Austin. You're absolutely spot on, because again, it's not doom and gloom, it's not absolutely done and dusty as it stands, it's pretty much as is from the start of the day. Celtic would still be within 3 points of Hearts, which means that we're still theoretically in the title fight, but again, it means that we'd have to be pitch perfect, and it's not exactly fun when you've got a chance to really capitalise on form and momentum and you're opting to just sit in your arse and not really do much with it. Why are we talking about political? Boys, football. Who gives a shit about fucking... Fun fact, right? Let me just stop this argument before it even starts, right? Because this is how fucking easy it is. All politicians are pricks. It's that simple. It doesn't matter who they represent. They only represent the 1%. It doesn't fucking matter what colour that they wear. The only colour they care about is green and the money. Not Green Party. None of that shit. They don't give a fuck about you, about anything. They only give a fuck about their prerogatives and goals. You are nothing. You're a vote. That is it. Jesus Christ, man. Should have learned this shit back in the early 2000s, man. Besides, why use Cairn? Like, it's the SNP in Scotland. Fucking English have to worry about that, man, not us. Guys, I know that you're trying to do the whole reverse psychology yourself thing, where you just assume the worst, so if something good happens, you can be surprised by it, but please just shh until full time. Because we can say the exact same thing. We've had numerous second halves where we've been shite as well. Like, this is not a specific to you situation. We're all fucking worried. Politics should stay out of football. I feel like of all the people who say that, we probably should not be the team instead. I'm talking like, you know, stupid fucking Westminster talk. I don't give a shit about that, right? Like, who cares? It is what it is, man. Fucking, they're all corrupt bastards. Does not matter. They're all fucking pushed through eating with a silver spoon up their arse. It does not matter at all. Bro, politicians didn't used to be tailor-made. That's when politics were actually fucking potent. When you had people who were actually people, and not these machines that were just programmed to be the fucking weirdest, scummiest, profiteering pricks they can fucking be. There are good politicians, don't get me wrong, but they're massively outweighed by the arseholes. That's why people look at people like Barack Obama so fondly, because he wasn't just a good politician, he was actually just a good bloke. But even he did some stupid shit like this, case in point, you know. What matters more is football. The only politics I give a fuck about, the only left and right wings I give a shit about are what's happening on the pitch. And to be fair, on that left-hand side of the wing, Yang has been brilliant. On the right-hand side, McCown can go fuck himself. Get him off the pitch respectfully. Again, I'm saying, you know, anyone in here that's new, by the way, this is just how I talk. I want to clarify, I don't hate any of these players. I love them all to death. Anyone that reps this team, I have a lot of respect and time for. But McCown is not a right winger. He needs to sit in the fucking midfield and do his job if that's the case, but if not, then take him off, get Tenekte on, push him out to the left, get either Forrest on the right, or keep Yang on. I like the way Yang's been playing, so maybe keep him on the left and then play Forrest out right, put him in his natural position. You've got someone who can cut to the byline, which we've seen Romains be very iffy about, like every time, obviously, Yang or McCown, whoever it is that gets out towards those flanks, you can see Romains in particular, he's kind of backing up. Like, Tavernier is stepping out because he knows that Jag is going to come across and cover him, but Romains doesn't have that same trust in Fernandes, it seems. So expose that. If you can get one really good ball and behind that Romains, you have got every fucking angle in lane. Because look how we scored our goal. Go and watch the little clip of it back. It's the run in between Romains and Fernandes that gets to cut back across to Yang. Do that again and we're in for a pretty solid shout. Can we just not score like 3 goals, please? Nah, let's go like 10 for the Babes. It's just showing all the title. Celtic on 55, Rangers on 55, and Hearts and Midlothian on 4. Damn. Kaka for president. I wouldn't want to be president, man. You're just making shitty, soul-crunching decisions all the time, man. That would kill my humanity so quickly. I'm already a pretty logical person by like instinct, man. Like after 4 or 5 years, man, you'd just be staring at the button on the desk going, yeah, just save everyone the time and hassle. I don't think it's a case of that, Dave. Jesus Christ. You talk about Michelle? No, it's just because she looks very masculine, I believe. I don't think she's actually a guy. Like, who fucking knows, man? It's 2026, right? It's progressive. We don't judge people for liking dick and balls here if they're a guy. That's fucking dumb. Subs, please. Can Natati come back from the call? We can't get Negan in again second half. I mean, who do we have for options? I feel like this would probably be the way to look at it, unless it's going to do that thing where it's like, hey, by the way, oh no, actually loaded fine. Thank you, Jan. Just quick shout, Jan, very quickly. I don't know, I mean, you could always bring on Kalechi, push Maid out to the left, put Yang on the right. You could bring on Chamberlain as a straight switch for Negrin if necessary, or Rio could honestly work too. I still think Forrest would be a very clever switch if we don't do the thing with Iniacho. And maybe... Well, actually, I say maybe, definitely Ralston, actually, because, I mean, Johnston being on a yellow, you imagine with him still trying to get up to full fitness as well, at some point we'll probably see him. So I think those would probably be the changes, right? Iniacho, Chamberlain, probably Tenekte, Rio, and it would be either Forrest or Ralston, depending on the situation that's needed, I would imagine. But again, I can't say we've had a massively horrible first half. I mean, we've had more of the ball, more chances, but again, Rangers have been pretty vibrant with the chances that they have had. They could have had 2, they could have gone 2-0 up pretty much if they'd just taken that chance that Scales had blocked. Could we get any actual one? It's kind of my thinking as well. I feel like if you want to do anything with the attack, it's either get McCowan off, bring Forrest on, and kind of keep things as is, you know, like a straight switch, or alternatively get Kelechi on for McCowan and then push Maeda out to the left and play Yang on the right, and you still have that kind of strong front three while keeping the players that can still be crucial to the team in form, and I think that probably would make more sense. No, like but this chat's people are always confused about how the chat rules in this work. It's pretty much, see, as long as you don't say anything that's like very offensive to specific individuals, right? Like if you come in and say the N word, for instance, that's like you're automatically gone, right? You're sent off to the void instantly without any hesitation. But if you're trying to make like a point and it requires context and there is like a little then it's fine enough. It's just like in a game that's as crucial as Celtic and Rangers, the last thing I want to see when I look over the chat is people talking about the Green Party. Who cares? The Green Party! They're watching my legalised weed, I'll fucking vote for them. That's probably how they got their seats, let's be honest. Aye, and as Watchal said, it's nothing necessarily offensive at all. Don't worry, mate, we'll be coming in the second half and a fold of shit. True, however, the counterpoint is that we can do the same. So, keep that in mind, I suppose. You know, nothing's necessarily set in stone. Celtic have probably got a bit more of a reason to kick on in the second half, although Rangers will be taking the same approach. I mean, Danny will be saying at half time, look, we haven't been at our best, but we're still in the game. We still have a chance to go and steal something, boys, so rest on your laurels and maybe something will come. But until that point, obviously, it's going to be a bit difficult for them because Celtic are the ones that are doing a lot of the press, and that's why we have a bit more of the ball. I thought we would have had a lot more of the ball than 55% of it, but again, Rangers have had little stints where they have taken control, so nah, he's getting some special treatment in the toilets right now, and he's been pulled into the disabled or something for a brief 10 minutes. If he comes out in the second half and he's running faster than he was in the first, then we know exactly what's happened. That's all we need to say. Speaking of valid, let's just talk about the Europa League final. 10 days from now against Freiburg. Did anyone watch that game as well? Like, we're talking about how decent the 4-0 result was for Villa. The Freiburg fucking comeback against Braga was insane. And in the Conference League it's Palace and Vallecano, or Rayo Vallecano. And then May 30th, PSG and Arsenal. Although, who cares? That's like two teams that spend way more money than they should. I know, guys, but have you ever heard the saying, there's nothing worse, nothing more to fear than a man who has nothing to lose? That's Rangers right now. They have nothing to gain. They're trophyless. They're not really guaranteed to be even really in a good position when it comes to European qualifying if they finish third. Obviously, depending if Celtic won the cup or not, that could factor into that decision as well, obviously, because Dunfermline could come in and nick a spot, and that makes it even more awkward. Pretty sure they'd be in the Europa League's second round of qualifying in third, right? So, there is that. But if you're Rangers, your immediate thinking is, well, if we beat Celtic, they can't win the title. That's funny. We're doing it for pride, right? Like, we're doing it for points. We're playing for points right now. Yous are playing for pride. And sometimes that is a very dangerous thing. Vallecano beat Atletico yesterday. Yeah, I know. They're a very, very decent side. Plucky wee side. They weren't particularly impressive in their semi-final in the Conference League. I think they won 1-0 both of their games, but will Barcelona stand with their debt if they win the Spanish League? Realistically, they do what most rich people do, right? They always have collateral. That's why they have all those fucking stupid deals with the Spotify musicians, right? That's why the Camp Nou's the Spotify Stadium or some shit now, because they have like, that's how they make billions. I'm pretty sure they get like $1 billion in contract sponsorships a year, and that covers the interest and a little bit of the debt, and they just use the kind of player fees to cover other player fees. They're actually not in the worst financial position given their circumstances, although they, at the very least, will probably need to win the title. Which I'm pretty sure they're in a great position to do. I've not checked the Spanish league since the last El Clásico. Just check the other now, but I'm pretty sure Barcelona were ahead by like 2 or 3 points last I checked. But there's been about 4 or 5 match days since then, so oh fuck, well there you go, but I mean it's pretty safe to say they're winning the fucking title now. Aye, I mean Virtual's just summarised it beautifully in text for those that can't be arsed listening to the ramble of why, but yep, that's basically how Barcelona survived. In the same way Man City, the reason why they can deal with a lot of the debt and the overspending is through their partnership with Etihad. Aye guys, but bear in mind the Spotify's, like, that is a yearly reoccurring sponsorship. They pay like a good amount a year, and they've been sponsored by Spotify for the past 3 seasons. Since 22, 23, right? When they started doing the work on the upgraded stadium. So, yep, by now that extra debt is probably very much better part cleared. It'll be down to like at least maybe 1 billion or even under that. The hundreds of millions, which is still a vast amount, right? No club should ever get to $1 billion in debt and still be allowed to exist, but different rules for different leagues. Aye. Dividends and knockbacks, Virtual is spot on. You can tie it up as basically collateral for debt, and basically Spotify will just play like they're paying the fucking Spanish banks rather than Barca, basically. There's a few teams that have done that to escape some pretty dreadful situations. That depends on how they sell. Don't think they have much reason to upgrade their squad in terms, maybe their defenders actually, because they've conceded some sloppy ass goals. The boys are coming out for the second half, and would you look at that? Tenekte, he's on. Although I've had no clarification because it's muted as to who he's came off for. I hope it's for McCowan. Is it McCowan? I'm going to presume it's McCowan. If it isn't anyone besides him, I'd be very surprised. Just pulling up the stat sheet to see if there's anyone confirmed. Looks like it seems like a straight switch for McCowan. I guess we'll get a confirmation on the screen once we kick off and get into the game, but there has been a change. Maybe I can get confirmation of that if I go and check it actually. Yep, confirmed it there. Tenekte is on for McCowan, so it is a straight switch, which means Arm will push a wee bit further forward, which is always nice to see. It means we're going for a bit more of an attacking press, and the first thing that we do from kick-off is give a very loose pass. It's all about a decent fucking second half here, boys. Nothing silly or stupid, and we should be fine, but again, we know how this team tends to work at the best of times. Celtic are immediately trying to get down the byline. Yang is on that right hand side. Tenekte's been switched out to that left, so that is what I was thinking. Probably means at some point in the next 10-15 minutes you'll see any actual as well, based on the way things work. That's a bit of a loose pass to give away, and they go down looking for a foul and get it. That's a bit of a soft one, referee, but maybe there was a clip on the top of the foot or a drag that I didn't see. So they don't look best too pleased about it. Well, Barcelona have one of the best youth academies, full stop. Their academy players are probably better than some Spanish division first team, well, Spanish first division teams like fucking main starters. That's a good ball into the box for Rangers, but clear away at the second man, not necessarily the first. That's a lovely touch for Negrin. Although the second one, again, every time I give a fucking compliment, the next thing that they do, why do I just give them shit? Like, if they, the next time they do something amazing, I'm going to like be negative about it in the hopes that they keep playing good. Because every time I give them a fucking compliment, they just fail the next second. So just quite literally rage bait them. That's a good steal in the midfield. That's not a fucking foul. Every time these motherfuckers hit the deck, every single time, referee, instant foul. You are 6 foot plus in black. You are not going to go down that easy in any other situation, my guy. You're a big boy, man. You've got physicality. You've been bodying people the entire game. That's a bit soft. Even the wee smile while he's on the ground, that tells you all you need to know. Fair enough, man. You shit-housed it. It's been pulled back again for something here. Now Zorn's starting to be a bit frustrated. He's having words with the referee. Well, we've been 3 minutes in and the referee's blown the whistle 4 different times. But they have a free kick just in the, pretty much just on the edge of the circle of the half. Definitely in territory for a high-end swinger, so hopefully Trusty can fucking see this time. No, he misses it. He actually missed it again. Oh my god, man. Like, dude. Has anyone seen what I'm talking about with Trusty? Like, I don't think he can read the ball when it's in the air that well at all. I don't know if it's windy in Celtic Park or if it's just really, really blinded by the sun. But no other player seems to be having that issue besides him. Just kind of lets it run past them almost. It's a bit of a silly... But we deal with it fair enough, so I'm not too... thinking by it. Johnston's just decked it trying to get onto the ball for a quick throw-in. I respect the hustle, but maybe a bit too fast in your own mind there. McGregor lays it off for Trusty. A bit better for you, big fella. Defending hasn't been particularly good, but his passing into the back has been very decent. How's the weather in Glasgow? Very nice, actually. I can't complain about the conditions at all. Pitch is in really good condition. Blue skies and very green grass. Can't ask for better conditions than what they've got. Be a surprise if Rangers could keep that in play as soon as he left his foot up and he kind of had his arm in there as if to say, what the hell are you doing, mate? That's not the ball. Tierney goes for a long throw in and it might just work out. It does get to Maeda and he'll do his best to hold it up. Is that a corner at least, maybe? It's a corner up. Good hustling. Decent defending for Fernandes. Give the boy credit where it's due. Case in point, he does have physicality. That's why that foul was a bit soft for me. Oh, Mbappe, because he went on holiday while he was injured, right? Seen all the drama with that. Fucking Tchouaméni and Valverde fighting in the training as well. Apparently Valverde got his head fucking rocked. Because apparently he's out for the El Clasico or whatever with a concussion. Corner kick to come in here, look. Let's see where this one goes. It's not actually bad, but well dealt with by Rangers again. So they do their best to kind of keep it on the press. I think that's going to be a throw-in for them, but I do respect the hustle. That's decent scales, big man. Very weird opening 5-6 minutes to the half, has to be said. Oh, comfortably worse. Neymar was just weird because every single time it was his sister's birthday, he would conveniently go down with injury. He was just a bit of a like prima donna, you know what I mean? Mbappe thinks that any club that he joins should treat him like a god. And PSG booted him out and look what fucking happened. That's good movement for Celtic. Nice little move in behind for McGregor. That's really good into space. Whipped across! It should have been a chance for Maeda. Oh, it was a great ball across for Nygren. It was exactly what you were really hoping the Swede would do there. And Maeda does well to kind of react. He had to kind of drop back a little extra half step so that he was onside, which kind of makes me forgive it a wee bit more. Because he bust ass to try and get there, but couldn't stick out his leg just in the nick of time. Goes past him at that far post. Big chance. Good hustling there though. Can't really argue with it. Nice little pop into space. Scales. Steals. Still got it. Yang's been taken down there. That's another. That should be a foul. Referee. How's that not a foul? You're giving them everything for nothing, but that's not a foul. Bro just took him out mid fucking air. Oh, the inconsistency is fucking unbelievable, man. Either way, we get back towards our defensive stations and deal with it calm enough. Nice little pop into space. Nygren gets up towards the byline and then cut back calm enough. And I trust he does need to get a cat of himself when it's in there. When the ball's on the ground, he's been fantastic. That's what I'm saying. I can't really say he's had a shit performance, but anytime the ball's gone high, you have to kind of, like, in the back of your head, keep an eye on it. That's good for Tenecta. Nygren. Playing into space. Calm little overlap is there if you need to use it. Tierney's just going to pop it back to McGregor instead. Celtic are playing a very high press line right now. Rangers have got all of their blue bodies basically in their own half. That's a decent ball over the top if we can keep it in play. It's whipped across. Big chance! It's two! DAIZEN Maeda's got there! We've taken the lead in a very great way! It's a brilliant run to the byline to get that cross in, and it's a lovely finish for DAIZEN. We've got ourselves a lead. Come on, boys! We needed to respond in big fucking kind, and that is exactly how to respond. If you're going 1-0 down for a very bad defensive error to capitalise on a great fucking attack, to spin it back in our favour, it's 2-1 Celtic. That is a brilliant move from us. Scales picks. Is he on? Oh, he might be offside. It's going to be checked most likely. It's a great ball into the box and the play is fucking smashing. The ball is beautifully cut across by Tierney and Maeda puts it in, but there will probably be a slight check. Maybe for that initial running behind. He looked on in real time. Seems like he's on in real time, but we have to be just 100% sure. Look at the celebrations though, man. That is scenes. That is a brilliant finish for DAIZEN though. He's missed some big opportunities over the last few match days. It's, yep, the check is over. They just had to be 100% sure it's 100% onside. No VAR was really even needed. Just had to be sure with that first replay. Comfortably on. Oh my god, man. That is close. That's another really good thrown ball forward, and Maeda's on the fucking chase down again. Go on, big man. Oh, you fucking... good defending in fairness for Jaga. Can't really blame him in that sense. Well, Rangers know the drill now. The very minimum that they need to do is get themselves a goal back in this. Otherwise they will be 100% basically consigned to third spot, and it will be their worst ever league finish. Pretty much in the modern era, or definitely this century. Always a check VAR's ruined the game. It was a small check. It wasn't like the referee stopped the whole play. It was just like a quick, it's good. Like, it was 2 or 3 seconds and we're fine. It was just because Tierney's running behind was very close to his man, but he was definitely on, so it's fine. The ball back across for him was absolutely lovely, by the way. Like, genuinely, the balls across the face of the box. Do you remember what I was saying at half time? How we had to try and do that against Romains? Well, we just did the polar opposite on the other side with Taven Atman instead. Just Tierney runs in behind, gets the bait out from obviously Tenecta, kind of pincer and Taven, and it's a great off the ball run for Tierney to open up the space. Like, Can't fault anything. Oh, that's a big giveaway for Rangers in a very deadly area. Come on, boys. They're really making a meal of this one, though. Fuck's sake, man. You should have done better there. McGregor somehow managed to retain it after that, though. But that was a big chance for us to pounce on a third. But the fucking... all of a sudden, the tail is up for us. Tenecte gets to the byline. This is what happens when you bring a fucking winger on. Tenecte towards the byline. Gets it across. Popped up. McGregor goes for an overhead. Oh! Oh my God! Is it me? I don't know. Is it my head that has got there? I don't know who's done it. But it's an overhead kick. Take that, Chummy! That's how you do it properly! What a fucking goal! Oh! Oh, you kidding me? There's your goal of the season! Take Chummy times it by 2 in terms of class and you've got it! DAIZEN has just ended this game most likely with a brilliant Sublime overhead kick. Oh my fucking God, it's perfect. Little pip up to make sure that he's got the space to go for it. Perfect connection and it loops beautifully over Butland. Catches that far side net and you cannot ask for a better connection than that. And the best part, it was 100% intended. He was aiming there. What a fucking goal. That is one of the old firm goals. Chumite's was beautiful in its own ways, but the technique to touch that up, that is the DAIZEN Maeda I fucking know and love, man. I don't know what he was doing in the first half, but it seems that his twins came out for the second, and that twin is firing on all cylinders. Twin fucking turbo cylinder engine in that boy. Fucking yes. We needed that massively, man. We needed that massively, but we've got ourselves something to defend now. What a fucking strike that is. Case in point, what happens when you take when we actually make sensible changes? And Rangers are starting to put themselves under a bit of pressure here. The Celtic bottle, I mean the stadium is bouncing, everybody feels like they're fired up. I don't know. The first half was not great. The opening 13 minutes to the second has been fucking night and day, man. Like I said at the start of the stream, we kind of needed a stint of the game where we were playing like we were against St Mirren in extra time. This is very good. And it looks like Rangers are going to try and respond with a triple change. What a response to going behind. And Hearts now will be looking at this very fucking differently. Because they know if they draw against Falkirk or lose to us, their title race might be running. But Celtic still have about 30 minutes. It's not done yet. Like I said, games can go fucking weird in every way, shape and form. But this is a great start to the second half. It would have been great if we played like this in the start of the first half. For the sake of anxiety, but... the hustling is there. McGregor's getting fucking involved. Negrin's getting involved. Look at this. And Maeda's getting involved. The referees eventually stopped it for a foul. Maybe we're right at half time. Yeah, Young's Bird's been putting in a shift. Good for him. Fired up Young to play good. But Maeda has came out. I don't know what it is with him, man. They just confirmed the changes for Rangers there. I mean, Sterling was on for Tar. That's change number 1. I think that was that maybe the only two? Asgard was on as well for someone. I think it was for Chukwueze. It's a good little take in touch for McGregor, and look at the space that's opened up for us to move there. I mean, Johnston's just kind of opted to punt it towards the byline. And you can see the frustration on Fernandes, man. He does not look happy. All we have to do is win our games and we win the league. As it stands, yes. If you want a little look at the table, although I'll do this just to be sure, because every time I do this normally for some fucking reason it's like error. But as it stands, this is your table. It is very much a closer run affair now. Celtic are currently a point behind. And more importantly, with those goals that we've scored, we put ourselves in a pretty decent position. Because it means it is, if things stand as it is, and Hearts win their next game and we win our next game, hold on, there's a chance for us to get into the box again. Oh, big opportunity, but well dealt with again by Rangers. Fernandez that time. Celtic won the first ball and actually won the second as well. The ball in behind could be something. Maeda's doing his best to make it awkward and nearly trips up, but once again well dealt with it. Okay, well that's a bit of a fucking stupid challenge. It was Diamande that came off for Asgard. That just confirmed that change there. Jigga's been taken out. But Celtic are a point behind, so we win our next 2 games, and bear in mind our last match is against Hearts. Then we will win the league. But fuck me, it's even funnier because if Hearts don't get anything besides a win against Falkirk and then we beat Motherwell, we technically go in front. But yeah, it means that we have that chance to basically go to Fir Park, and we know that even if we don't win the game and we draw there, it's not the worst case scenario. But again, there's still football to be played here. That's why I'm not trying to, you know, assume anything, because we know how fucked this team can be at times. We have to stay composed and grounded until otherwise. So as far as I'm concerned, we've done exactly what we needed to do in the start of the second half. Put Rangers under the pressure, get the balls in between their full backs and their centre backs, and force them to move. And just taking McCowan off has enabled us to do that. And again, it's not me giving McCowan shit. He's just not a right winger. It was never going to work. But Donetti's came on and it's changed the game in a lot of ways. There's apparently a foul there. A bit soft, I've got to be honest with you. There are fouls that the referee should be giving that he's not, and there's fouls that are absolutely just dumb as hell that he is giving. Like, come on, fucking Christ. That is off the ball, he does catch him, but a bit soft. Yeah, that's, oh, I feel bad for him, honestly. To be fair, I've been on the end of that a few times myself. You see, whenever you're like trying to hold your nerve when you're watching your rivals hammer you. Because bear in mind, like, last time they were here in January, this score was reversed. At this point in the game, it was 3-1 Rangers, and we were sitting there talking about how the league was pretty much over, because at that point in time, Rangers were in the ascendancy, and Hearts were doing what they were needed. That's a lovely ball. Get that across. Oh my god, it could have worked out. It still could work out. Young's still in a dangerous area. Get the shot away, big man. Get the shot away, big man. Does get across in at least. I mean, I respect the hustle to do at least that much. He has been fucking brilliant today. Him and Maeda have switched on. What the fuck? Tierney's just gone for a goal. I mean, I'm sure he was probably intending that to be a cross and it just came off his toe wrong, but if it was a shot, then I respect it. Get the big man on. Gotta say, man, we've dug our heels in probably the best way possible. I'm just checking to see what the goal difference is as it stands. Yeah, goal difference is 3 as it stands. So if things stay as is, and you know Hearts win their next game, we win our next game, and then obviously the last match day comes through, Celtic would need to win by 2 goals. We can't win by 1. If we score another one here, and then just kind of match Hearts pace for pace, then it would just be the 1 goal that would be enough. That is a lovely little breakaway from Celtic again into a great area. Look at the space Nygren's got. He's dancing around, still getting into a great area. Lays it after Donnetti. He's going to try and shimmy it towards the byline for sure here, and just gets a little bounce up. He'll just run up and take the pressure out. If it gets it back towards Tierney, this is great from us, man. Those half-time team talks can be fucking detrimental, or absolute jet fuel to your season and to your match, and it seems that whatever O'Neill said at half time was beautiful. Good for McGregor, just lays it afterwards, trusty. Like I said, when the ball's at his feet, he's much more competent as a defender than it is in the air. The perfect example of that, gets in front, puts it in an area and actually keeps it in play, so Rangers are going to be forced to put it out for a throw in, best case scenario for there. We're now officially 2/3 of the way through this match, and you can see the boys starting to do the huddle, which is always lovely to see, man. Can you imagine what did they do for that song now? It was like, Danny Rowe, he's got no bottle. Get it round him, man. That's what he gets for saying all that shit he did when he came in and beat us the first time, going like, we should be able to recover, it's just Celtic, all that pish. How is it just Celtic now, mate? But this is the best I've seen us play in a long time, which is surprising considering the fact in the last match we had like 35 shots. Any actual one, please. I feel like it will probably burn about an extra 10 minutes or so out of Maeda, and rightly so, and then we'll give him a standing ovation, because that brace is fucking insane. I thought it was McGregor that went in with the overhead kick, to be fully honest with you, but nope. As soon as I seen the blow into uppercut after the shot, I'm like, that's Maeda, oh my god. Like McGregor, you would expect to go for something like that. Maeda is not the type to try and be too technical. He likes to hit it hard, so just that daintiness of that little overhead kick was stunning. Oh yeah, can someone give me an update on how we're doing with likes? We usually set the goal at like 25 or 30, we'll put it 30 for the old format, and that's probably fair. If we were close to that, then I'm more than chuffed and happy. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. It's the best thing you can do to help us out besides that it's free. Thank you. Alright, okay, there was a shot pause. There was like, I mean, we didn't get his head knocked there. He just went down holding his head, but he had a shot pull. Yellow card for Trusty. Like I said, the fucking referee's decision making at times is stupid. How the fuck that's a yellow, I don't understand. Oh, Sterling's made a mistake keeping that in play, and Celtic could have broke forward and done what we needed there. 19 so far. Alright then. Well, at the minimum, if we can get another 6, then that's the usual. Which would be very much appreciated. Oh Christ. Fair enough, kid. The Japanese McTominay. Oh, I mean, McTominay's a midfielder. I wouldn't say Rio's on that level just yet. That's a good little ball in behind for Rangers if it worked out, but McGregor, positionally, fantastic. Gets there and just sends it forward up the line. Makes sure some pressure on. It looks like there will be some changes coming on. Jan is on that press. Always good to see. Just keep it fucking moving, boys. Calm enough. Celtic have 1 or 2 women up on the side you can see. That's why the keywords if you haven't already, kidding. But it's good to know nonetheless. That's still awkward actually. Hold on, Rangers still have it in a very good area. Please, lads. Fucking hell, man. You're really fucking competent at making your own errors there. Case in point, man. It's not them doing anything that's particularly special. It's just us deciding, hey, we're going to like make the fucking meal of this. Could have been something for them, but thankfully it didn't work out. The Japan. No, because McTominay's was like, it was a great overhead kick for the height. Like McTominay's was probably the better like picturesque looking one, but Maeda's was better placed. Because he was, like, as soon as he picked that up, he realised, I've got one place I can go, I am going for it, and he executed it as perfectly as you can imagine. That has just saved, like, he's made up for that sitter in the first half times a million. In the first half, I was wondering what the fuck he was doing. I was saying, just leave the now, man. But anytime I give a player shit, immediately they start playing good, and I hate that. So why can't they just be good for the start so I can praise them the whole time, man? It's the same as McGregor in the first 10 minutes. I'm like, he's doing fucking nothing. Can you like try and move, big man? And then all of a sudden he's everywhere, trying to win challenges, trying to get great passes off, pulled in some great cross balls. Like, I think with the exception of Trusty, everybody has stayed very, very consistently high level. I mean, Scales, even though he's not had to do much defensively, that block in the first half has kept us in this tie and quite literally reversed it for us, because that would have been 2-0. Rangers would have had the momentum. Who knows what would have happened for there, right? But we've kicked on very nicely, and then Rangers haven't had any key chances in the second half at all so far. 1 or 2 half kind of hearted attempts into the box. Tenecte just gets in front of his man there, that's fair enough. It's always going to be a very simple decision to give that as a throw-in for Rangers, but I appreciate the fact they tried to commit and stay on it anyway. Celtic are just over-encompassing Rangers though. Like, any time they've got more than 1 or 2 touches, Celtic are right there. Still got the cutter, but it's not getting out of the envelope. Just, do you know that one video of the, like, surgery on a grape? Like, pure machine-like precision. That's awkward. That's still awkward. Jesus Christ. Get away, boys. Fucking hell. Okay, it's deflected. It's came out for a corner kick. That was a wee bit awkward from his nut. Just do that to get your forward good. That'll technically, because it's waterproof, you could technically just put it in a water solvent, let the card dissolve and the money's left over. Well, here we go. Seen him warming up a few minutes ago. It's official he's going to be coming on though. Rio Hatate will grace the field with his presence. Sterling and go the good goal. He'll be coming on basically the next time this ball goes out of play, I would imagine, which is good to see. The case of who for though, I'd imagine most likely it would be for Allen. Straight switch, make sure that you still have that long ball threatened behind through McGregor. Looked like it went out of play there, but fair enough. A few bounce arounds, Tierney's popped it straight back into the space. That's not the pass you would expect to see for Tierney there. Young tries to stay on his man, that's great. Dribbling from Rangers, in fairness, big deflection, could go anywhere, and thankfully for us we get it clear. Okay, a few awkward moments in the last minute or two. Like I said, we don't really need to gain them any indications or route back into the game. Like I said, the minimum we needed from this game was a point, and from here you feel like that should be the absolute minimum, but you don't want to give Rangers any incentive to get back into this game. Celtic try and clear the lines again. It's awkward. Oh my god, man, we played it back into space and he just full powers it into the side net, and I think it took a slight nick on a Celtic body on the way through it. Don't understand why the fuck we're poking it out there, big man. Case in point, I think Allen probably will need to come off sooner rather than later. Man's showing some tired legs. Got Roman's on that far side ready to swing this one in with full power, you would imagine. Or two or three of the bigger boys at the back stick. Jagger anchoring off that back left towards the kind of inside of the 6-yard box, and that's kind of where they're putting it. Could have been awkward actually, dealt with by Celtic just about, but still dangerous edge of the area type territory. Maeda does his best to get in front of that one, but it's awkward. Played across, and it could have been awkward again, but Allen's gone down and holding his face. Apparently there's another corner kick to be had. What's the contact? I want to see what happened to Allen specifically, but I mean the ball in was quite threatening, but yeah, I mean to be fair, he does get bonked in the top of the head, that could be a foul. He does get caught late on. I can't really say it's too much on the defender actually, in fairness, it's just kind of collision of heads. And probably be a slight break and stoppage so we can attend to them. Didn't even see the other Celtic player go down on top of it. So the three of them kind of got in each other's way, but Jagger had every right to go for the header. So once those two are treated, most likely we'll just get a corner kick and continue on for that. Get any hatch on the Ox on? Well, I mean Rio's there and ready. Could probably introduce another change or two from that break and stoppage. Johnston's up on his feet, which is good to see. Can't really say we've been too disheartened by this performance, man, in terms of getting what we've needed done. Very good start to the second half, but the closing 15 minutes can be just as important as the opening 15 minutes to any half, so defending this out the gate would be quite nice, and McGregor gets on the end of that one, doesn't even beat the first man, the cross for Rangers, and that actually allows Celtic to try and break out from the back. That is a very fortunate bounce, it could have gone our way, but goes out of play instead, and Rangers will have a throw in, but here comes those rudimentary changes, I believe. And it looks like Negrin will be making that leave a bit earlier than intended, which is not too bad to see at all. Rio will be the first. Hopefully in a flurry of changes over the next few minutes, especially with what bad. I imagine we're obviously going to wait towards the end of the game and burn as much time off and kind of like the 86th, 87th minute bring on changes then. But Negrin is off, Rio is on. I thought it would have been on that came off, to be honest with you, but I guess it means we're going to go with a flat three in the midfield rather than still trying to proceed with the central attacking midfielder. So we're changing up our formation just slightly, dropping a little bit deeper in. And it probably means that we'll see, if we do see Ox, he'll probably come on for Orm then, I would imagine, in the last 10 minutes. And immediately Rio's involved, trying to get in the play. Maeda does well to stay in the fight to keep that ball with about 5 men on him, but it was always going to be a bit of a hard ask, played out towards the far side in the end, and here comes a breaking forward run for Rangers. If they want to try and move it, they're going to need to move it a bit more pace and purpose, because immediately there you go. Rio and Maeda on the press. Miovski is on for Chukwani, that's the other change, so it looks like Rangers have changed their shape as well to add an additional striker to their attacking range, so traditional style. That's a poor giveaway for Yang. I would say probably the first error we've seen him make this game. Ball in behind for Rangers could be threatening. And there's a lot. Okay, here we go. Oh, fuck off, Moore, you tiny wee cunt. You get flatlined by anyone there. Like, what are you trying to do, man? I'd knock you the fuck out. Just leave. Sinisalo generally just takes one hand and pushes him to the side like, wee man, what the fuck are you trying? Like that, you're like grown men here. You'd get fucking your spine pulled apart for his fucking socket. Like a Mortal Kombat finisher. What the fuck are you trying, bro? I get the frustration for both sides. I mean, the guy is obviously going to go down and looking for a penalty. That I guess that makes sense, but it was never even close. Something's going on in it. The Hawks in a tie to score for 5-1. That'd be nice. I'd love to see us scoring against them. Well, the break and play, there we go, Tierney, and I think Romans are in the book. I don't know why Tierney was the one that got booked though, out of everyone in specifics. I don't think he was the one that was engaged with the original challenge. Yeah, I can see both angles of the argument. Tierney has every right to be pissed off because the guy's looking for it, but when you're Romans, you got about 4 or 5 Celtic shots standing over you shouting at you. You have a right to be a bit annoyed, I suppose. You can see it for both sides. Call it a footballing incident, where his captain disappointed. Currently sitting in that right back spot, hoping that he was left right back in the fucking dressing room before they even came here. But Rangers know unless they score 3 goals, it doesn't really affect Celtic too much, right? As long as we don't concede 2, then we've got a much better chance of being able to do some damage in the last few match days when we've only got that point to make up for. That's going to be a yellow card and a foul as well. Now he's getting a bit card happy, but for one side specifically. I mean, Trusty was booked for fuck all. I mean, that is a yellow card. I'm not going to sit there and argue with it, but we've had a few very questionable yellows. Set piece opportunity for them. He's either losing control of this game and he's trying to hand Rangers a lifeline. I wouldn't say that, but he's definitely needing to get his consistency levels the fuck up to par now. Like I said, there's some fouls that should be fouls that he hasn't been given, and likewise there's fouls that just absolutely ain't fouls that he's given, so it's a little bit confusing at the best of times, to say the least. Oh, that's awkward. Oh, that was really awkward, man. That could have honestly gone into anywhere but Sinisalo's, thankfully, on the end of it. Jesus Christ. I can see why it was a yellow, guys. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's just because it's late in the game and... Hold on, big chance for us. Big chance for us! Oh, that should have been 4! That should have been it, man! Maeda getting his customary sitter and a half miss. Like, again, I can't be mad at it because the man literally scored an overhead kick and I love him for it. But those are the chances. I'm not sure if he probably would have been just offside anyway, to be honest. But again, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper and the man just misses the net entirely. Should have been 4, honestly, but here are 2 changes, and like I said, in order to play it safe, they would be definite that Ralston would come on at some point. I think it might be a straight switch for Johnston, and then Yang's going to be coming on, or coming off I should say, for any actual to come on. Yang deserves a round of applause, man. He got us back into the game. Very, very solid shift for the South Korean, and Ralston coming on for Johnston. Johnston was pretty much involved in the early stages. I think the yellow card that he got was a bit soft, but played a brilliant game besides then. We've got 10 minutes to see this one out. Maeda will be forced out to that far side as you would expect. And Celtic have actually given the ball in a very dangerous area. Nice little ball out here as Maeda on the wing immediately tries to pop it in behind, but there's a slip on the run from Rio. And we're getting into the dicey kind of stations of the game. We've got a few more minutes left and probably some additional time on top of it. Right, you're getting a bit way too happy with the yellow card, you fat cunt. Can you fuck off? DAIZEN's been booked for that. Are you taking the piss, man? Like, we touch them, it's a yellow. We fucking breathe on them, it's a yellow. They break our fucking legs and it's like, yeah bro, advantage at best. That is just getting a bit silly now with referee, man. Fuck's sake. Clearly losing control of the game, that is, to put it nicely. Bottle brace goal scorer is in the book. Nice little cut across into space here, nice and calm from Rangers. Give them credit, they're still trying to find a way back into this game. They know, regardless, third place is pretty much guaranteed from here, but again, point of pride. If you can get something from this game, it's better than nothing, and they can smile about it. It's in that dangerous area where they can maybe go for range. They might have to be forced into that territory at some point soon. Whipped in and across and over everybody, thankfully. That's a little bit dangerous. Sterling's got it on the far side, but Maeda just stands his ground and then boots the ball to fuck, man. He does not even care, just be gone. Don't even fault it, but we don't want to be doing desperate defending when we'll still have the better part of, probably with added time, at least about 10 minutes. Tierney's dealing with a bit of cramp, so Sirachi looks like he'll be there, and immediately Sirachi's up on his feet and ready to go. I think Tierney's legs have officially ran himself into the ground, and he deserves a lot of credit. Brilliant shift for the big man. The assist for the second goal was absolutely lovely. Much more solid from us all in. And for once, Celtic Park actually has a lot to smile about. It's very, very good. I was going to say there was maybe a slight present chance, goes back towards Butland in the end. Then they just send it straight up the field and out to play for a Celtic throw, and it looks like Rangers are starting to realise that their race is run. Which is hilarious on a lot of fronts, because they were very confident, very confident going into the split. The bookies had them as league favourites and everything, man. That's why I find it so amusing, man. The fall off is insane. Within 3 match days of the split, they've not only been confirmed out of the title race, but they're also confirmed to finish third at best. That is as good as it gets for them this season. No trophies, no real decent European victories to smile about. Knocked out of both cups in very equally stressfully sad ways from your rivals. Like, from their perspective, this has been a fucking howler. But it's not necessarily Danny Rowe's fault. You have to say the start of the season factored into it massively. That kind of 6 straight draws for Russell Martin was pretty much the detrimental factor in their season. The killing blow, shall you speak. I mean, Nancy tried to kill us off, but O'Neill's kept us alive and showed that even with the same calibre of squad, you can get a much different tune out of them. It's all about how you do things, and Celtic have been very much the better side this game. Rangers, again, they've had stints in the first half. They had probably about 20 minutes where they were probably the better side, but besides that, they haven't really done anything to really be in the game. Great challenge for Alston. He's been taken out, a belter there as well. But again, I'll guarantee you no card comes out for that, even though every single time we've done a challenge like that, it's an instant yellow with no gratification whatsoever. He catches Ralston, doesn't win the ball, should be a yellow, but it's not going to be given. Why would it? Maybe you guys, but there was a lot of fans that certainly did not. But Celtic always tend to come alive at the end of the season. I mean, Hearts have tripped up once or twice already. And if it wasn't for the fact they were playing against a 9-man Hibs, chances are they would have already been behind by now. They've had a bit of luck in a lot of aspects, and obviously could have fucked it against Motherwell yesterday, so they'll be thankful that at the very least they got the point, because Celtic have officially made it clear who their true challengers is. It's not Rangers anymore. That's fully consigned to the history books. But Celtic basically have 2 matches, and 2 very hard matches, might I add, to save their season. They still have a cup to look forward to at the very least, so there is that. Ball's going to be sent forward, but Ralston will beat his man to that every day of the week. Popped into space, and Sinisalo in turn just tries to get it into space. Nice little kind of attempted rebound for Rangers, but it was never going to work out there. And Miovski's complaining about something, but I mean, to be fair, nothing wrong with it. So happy just beat Motherwell on the tarts and we win. Yeah, basically, if we beat perfect, we said it at the start of the split, the only way we could really win this title convincingly was win every game. And while it hasn't been convincing, we are winning every game so far. We've took down a very, very strong and stubborn Falkirk side that can cause problems 3-1. We took down a very, very good Hibernian side that even down to 10 men gave us a real fucking run for our money for that 2-1 win. And then Rangers tried, I guess. I mean, they had a much better first half than the second, but Celtic have shown their class. That's the difference, having 1 or 2 key players back fit. You must be very sad, David. I mean, no. I keep my room in pretty good nick, I love you, know. Very clean and well maintained. That's definitely let fall off the back of him there. I think arm's just been popped by Barron, yeah, with the elbow on the side of the head. I'm sure he's probably hurting, to be honest with you. I'm not going to give David shit for that. But way worse comments. You think Rangers will win next season though? Caden, I'm going to stop you right there, they're not. Not unless I want to put their money where their mouth is and invest a bunch, but we do that same cycle every season. This year will be our year. And then they say like the same fucking thing next year. And Conley, the talk for the officials are theorising that it could be as much as 4 additional minutes. Hearts have won the league. Mathematically, not even close. They fuck it against Falkirk next week and we beat Motherwell. It's us that's in control. Nothing is set in stone. I just realised that when Rio got booked for that, I looked away because I presumed that was like, for fuck's sake, man. How many yellow cards have we got this game for very like non-yellow situations? Fair enough, man. Rio's just run it into space. I mean, we might as well just take the time off the clock. We know that we've done a pretty decent job here. Never mind McGregor. Every fucking time I give them a compliment, man. What a challenge that is for Alston. No, but okay. We'll love him to death, man. What a great performance. Nice little move into space for Rangers. They're trying to go for this as the 90th crawls around. Sirachi's bundled his man over. His hair looks majestic, so we'll love it. That has been a confirmation. 4 additional minutes are to be played. It goes man of the match after Maeda. Nah, yeah. As much as Angels said a pretty solid shift, I would say my top 3 would be in order: Maeda, Yang, and Tierney. McGregor and Arn have done pretty much what was expected of them, and they've done it brilliantly. It's one of the few performances where I can say that most players have been pretty good, with the exception of Trusty with the aerials. every case in fucking points just like that, pop over one all. Positionally, a wee bit weak at times, but pretty decent otherwise, you know. Fleeting as it was. Well, if Rangers have any chance of salvaging something for this game, realistically, this corner needs to hit the back of the net. If it doesn't, then Celtic will probably just see this one out for a very comfortable and a very needed 3-1 victory, which would put us in prime position. Puts us on the absolute hunt. Celtic are just engaging on a final press in case. I mean, I respect that, man. Just commit to them. Oh, that could have bounced anywhere from the challenge. Maeda's still staying on him as well. This is brilliant, man. The energy's been there for the entire 90, which is nice to see. Usually you kind of notice a drop off at some point, and it has been for one or two players. But overall, very, very, very solid, man. Maeda's been running like a machine. Allen's been positionally brilliant today. McGregor's been all over the park. Nigrim, when he was on, was fantastic. Cannot complain about it in the fucking slightest. 3-1 was surprise. The knowledge of elite ball knowledge, that is the best thing you can ask. Although, to be fair, it's not done yet. There's a slight half chance for Rangers to grab something at the end here. Cross comes in. Oh, and they've hit the bar. To be fair, it's so... They hear a bunch of ways from the crowd. Majovski's just rattled the bar right at the end of the game. Could have been a potential route back in for Rangers right at the death, but their only real attack of the half that's of note, and it's right off the edge of the bar. That is... Rode a luck a bit there for sure, man, but that is pretty much a summarisation of Rangers' season. Right idea, not the right execution. That could have been a slight nervy moment for us, but from here we should be fine. We should be absolutely fine. Hopefully the title, Kev. I mean, the title would be quite nice. Oh, there's a Rangers player down and looking for a foul, I guess. I mean, he's going to get it, as kind of obviously was. I mean, did Sirachi actually catch him that badly? Yeah. Don't think, but definitely wasn't intentional, but he might have actually did catch him there. Well, I'm a happy chappy, man. I know I don't sound like it, but I am very pleased. I just need to wait for this game to be over so my heart can actually just like confirm that we're good. There's another foul for Rangers, Jesus Christ. That's you off, Pedro. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on chat, my guy. We're just on the referee's time now. Once this free kick is taken, it is done. And regardless of situation, Celtic will walk away for this game with 3 points. Ball bounces down, pops up and over everybody. You're going to blow the whistle on that ref, for fuck's sake, man. As long as if goal difference can do much for them now. Just letting it run on for the sake of it, I suppose. But the camera is just penciled on O'Neill, man. They're waiting for him. There it is. That was stressful as shit, wasn't it, man? Fucking hell. Yes! We win these! Let's go. Right, okay. For those that are new here, I'm not sure if there anyone is. I actually need to check. I didn't fucking check if we gained any subscribers or not. I should do that right now. Let me just dooba-dooba-doo real quick. Dooba-dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. Nope. That's really disheartening. Jesus Christ, fair enough. Well, for those that are here, I don't even need to explain it because you know the drill. It's time to loudly yell and celebrate this team. Because for once they didn't fucking disappoint us, man. So, gentlemen, for the victory, for the win, and for this absolutely magnificent team. When they play like that anyway, and for DAIZEN Maeda's overhead kick, which is now my goal of the season, hands down, just for how fucking important it was and how sexy it was.
Fucking yes! Round you, Rangers! That's exactly what you fucking get.
Third in a 2-horse race, who would have guessed, man? Never in doubt. Never in doubt, man. Like, you go back any like clip for the past 2-3 weeks, where like every single week we're like, holy shit, man, how are we going to win this with the form we're in? But we played fantastic. We played genuinely brilliantly in a lot of aspects during that game. And it just genuinely, we needed that. We needed that, man. We just wanted something stable. We wanted something decent. We wanted a grounded performance. And we did exactly what we needed to do, man. Oh, nervous as hell, probably the best way to put it, man. Sounded like the good old days. If that's you off, Lindsay, it's been a pleasure to have you last. You take care. We're getting relatively ready to kind of run this one out. Ah, Craig. No, you can't even get on the bus because you don't even have the fucking change for it, you penniless bastard. What's your point? He has long hair, he must smell it. No, bro. I can assure you, I smell fucking crystal clear. You want to know what it smells like, mate? Victory, something your fucking team doesn't know the concept of. Fuck off back to your box, mate. That is cute. That's adorable. Fair play. At least it's something different. Your nerves are destroyed, thank fuck for that. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us are just very content that we got the job done, right? Like, we needed to win, and we won comfortably. Like, the Rangers didn't really put too much effort in after they got the opener. I think they just presumed that we would have been fine from that point. And they gave it a bit of a go towards the end of the second half. That's why I was saying, even when we went 3-1 up, look, it's not set in stone. So, you know, we still have to be conscious and, you know, composed at the back. And towards the end of the game, yeah, look, Rangers had 1 or 2 chances that could have obviously been a bit more of a detrimental one. I mean, Mujovski hitting the bar at the end of the game probably been a pick of the bunch, but Celtic missed about 4 sitters that match. If we're taking a whole, if Rangers took their chances and Celtic took theirs, then 3-1 wouldn't be in the score it ended, but it would have ended about fucking 6-4, 7-4 probably. Like, it was just a case of who was more switched on. And today, thankfully for us, Maeda decided to come alive in the second half. The first half was not very convincing at all, but we did what we needed to do, and I'm very, very pleased with it, man. Very, very pleased with it. As long as we kind of come away with something to smile about, then, you know, we're in the best case scenario. So if you want to look at the table for those that are in here and just want a little gander of that before we kind of get ready to wrap things up here. There you go. It's closer than most people were expecting, but Rangers are now officially done and dusted. No matter what, they cannot catch. I mean, realistically, they can they? No, they can't even catch us. So third place is a guarantee for them. That is as good as it will get for them this season. They're just going to have to accept that and hope, essentially, that Hearts can, at the very least, give them something to smile about when they come to Celtic Park in pretty much a week from now. But the next match for us is fucking crucial in a lot of ways, because it's this. And I will of course be live for it, mainly because it's a night kick-off, so I don't need to get up pure early and make thumbnails and all that shit for it, but it's a big one. It is a massive, massive match for us. We need to beat Motherwell. It is simple as that. Obviously, it comes with the factor that if, you know, Hearts fuck it up against Falkirk, it's not the worst. But if they win and we don't do anything besides pick up a point, then yeah, we're basically back at square one anyway. So we put ourselves in a more relaxed position. I'm happy that we won. It's one of those where I'm more relieved than happy, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just kind of like accepting the fact that we actually did what we needed to do, and in a very convincing way. Usually you're kind of sitting here with your heart doing this, and like the nerves are there, but it's good nerves, right? Like, I've got good nerves now. It's optimistic nerves, because if we play like that for the final 2 games, then it's hard to say who wins the title between Celtic and Hearts. They're both very equally on-form teams now, you would say. Hearts are getting the job done the same way that Celtic are. No team is running away with it in terms of, you know, 4-0, 5-0 wins. It's scrappy 2-0, 3-1, 2-1, you know, like 3-2, those types of scorelines. Nobody nobody's nobody's going to stand out as the favourite for now. It's just going to be who's the least shit. We've been saying it for like the better part of a month or two anyway. Do you go to much games? I try to do my best to go to a handful every year. At least 2 or 3 Celtic ones, and any time that I'm not live and I have a spare day or so, it's mostly non-league. I mean, the area I live, it's mostly like you know, the wee Rovers and kind of local teams around here. But mostly Albion Rovers. So I try to go to games where I can, but health limits that in its own ways. You know, we watch the highlights on repeat, fucking amen, Austin. I'll be doing the same, see, because I can't listen to it with audio for copyright reasons. My prerogative now is to get a fucking, like, just get the highlights back and watch them in full glory and listen to the sheer anger of the commentators when they realise that Celtic are indeed shit and can just do what we need to do. The meltdowns are going to be superb. Oh, I guarantee you they fucking will be. I mean, I suppose I can put this clip in for like that mad Celtic Vision channel. I've always watched this with such green tinted specs. That channel's brilliant for that type of stuff, man. Because you always just witness the worst of the worst. I mean, I've been in some pretty bad meltdown things myself, man. I've been on the end of that shit as well. So I do feel for some of them for what's about to happen to them, but can't really argue it, man. And at the start of the season, we went fuck all. I mean, the start of the season's what's kind of caught you out, to be honest with you guys, right? Let's be honest, man. That first 4 or 5 months pretty much determined your season. You got given false hope by Danny Rowe, and that kind of, we're back in it right before the split. We can move, but it's one of those, man. What do you think? Scotland. If you're talking specifically North Lanarkshire. That's nice to see. I didn't even realise that was a different emblem. Mate, you changed your profile picture. Nice to see. Beautiful Sunday. Nice to see you, Cammy boy. Nice to see you. Indeed, beautiful Sunday. Indeed. Happy birthday to mate Ian. Have a great day after the Old Firm loss. So that's, well, I mean, I suppose that's quite sweet. The Jambo Jordy podcast. I don't even know what that accent would sound like, man. Like, aye, man. Fucking Hearts just scored again, eh? Like, fair enough. Nice to see you, mate. I hope you well. That's a part of me that wants Hearts to win just for the fans. Do you forget what team you support, Ken? Well, I get it. If you're a neutral, if you're anyone but a Celtic fan, that is a valid sentence to say. But you're not. You're a Celtic fan, so... Like, anyone but Hearts. If it was Hibs or Motherwell, fuck it, cool, whatever, I guess. It's a little less annoying, but really? You want the little cousins of Rangers? You sure? With Derek McInnes as the manager? And a bunch of substandard players? Like, fuck me, I know we're bad, but they're much better. What a game. Oh, I mean, the second half came to life, man. The first half had some very awful moments from both teams defensively, it's got to be said, but yeah, the second half opened up a lot more, for, especially in Celtic's favour. If you're a Rangers fan, you would have hoped after the first goal you would have kicked on and tried to kind of go from there, but it seems to be a theme for them for whatever reason, that as the game drags on, the later that it goes, it just doesn't really stick for them. Which is a bit of a surprise, because again, Rangers, heading into the split anyway, they were on fucking fire, man. They were scoring goals for fun. It was like, what, 14 in the last 4. And then over the last 2 games, they've barely looked cohesive, and those are against the 2 main competitors in Hearts and Rangers. They did not look really good against Hearts, I should say, once they conceded. And it was the same story of the day. It was pretty much the carbon copy, right? Rangers take the lead through a bit of luck, but they capitalise on it nonetheless. And the second they concede, it's like their heads drop, and they just didn't really switch on for there, and it was very easy for Celtic to just run the game out from that point, because again, once that second goes in, it's us that's on the kind of comeuppance, because Rangers know we need to win this game. Celtic are going, right, we've got a goal advantage, if we get another one, fucking hell, right, we're in best case scenario. Then Maeda pulls off the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, you know what? I cannot argue with it. I feel like Rangers definitely, they earned their stripes in some aspects today, but I think a lot of fans say their team will probably have the same type of overarching feeling that we've had for all of this season, where it's like, lads, what the fuck? Like, you played brilliantly against these exact same players before. What's the situation now? Why is it different now? It's just from their perspective, they had a real chance to knock Celtic down a peg or two today and basically go, well, we might be out the title fight, but what about you cunts? And now they don't even get the joy of that, right? They just have to sit there and smile through the tears, which is a bit of a common occurrence if you happen to be from that side of Glasgow. And that's kind of why I'm happy I'm more from the eastern side of it, and I don't have to worry as much, because thankfully my team is at least, I mean, as inconsistent as they are, they're not incomplacent. They can get the job done. They do have players that are experienced title winners, and that translated on the pitch today. I feel like Celtic did the right thing and just kind of played the smarter football. Party, we'll find that party again and rip it out. If they win the season, I'll tip my hat to them. Like, it's the same way with anyone that earns their stripes, right? Like, I said it at the start of the season when Hearts were on that kind of really good run towards like November or the start of November. I was like, if you get to March and they're still in the title fight, you take them seriously, you take them as a competitor, and you don't disrespect them. And I'm still on that boat. Granted, a lot of us are kind of in the, like, if you're not a Hearts fan, you're pretty much looking at it and going, man, that team is very minimal at best. The fact they're the fucking title favourites is a bit of a surprise, because again, they've not really had too many outly brilliant performances. They've had a couple of decent 3-0, 4-0 type wins against lower six teams and stuff like that, and they've had some great wins against Celtic and Rangers obviously, but a lot of games have involved kind of late winners or a bit of luck here and there, which you need as a champion no matter what. And Celtic, that game in the last match day, if both teams are still within the shout of the title, it's going to be very, very fucking close to determine what happens on the day. Because again, Celtic still need to make up a little bit in goal difference, so if we go and get like a 2-0 win against Motherwell and obviously Hearts beat Falkirk by 1 or something, then yeah, we beat Hearts by 2-0 on the final day, we wrap up the title, we take it. But it's all about who's got the composure for here, and Celtic know that if you've got a win against Rangers, you need to capitalise on that, because it's the first in the league for us this season. Gisana. We have a few Garys. It's Gary and Michael, those are the two. And then there's famous people called like Gary Michael, which just tells you how fucking common the names are. But I ain't too disappointed at that. Like I said, in terms of the league, we've officially confirmed ourselves in a decent spot, but it's Motherwell next, and they did alright with that point. They know that realistically they're in a good enough spot where, I mean, if Habs lose their next match, which I believe is to Rangers, I think it is to Rangers anyway. Because then they'd have Falkirk on the final day, so that makes sense. There we go, we got there in the end. Everybody in Scotland knows a Gary. Fuck, I think everyone in the Western world knows there's a Gary. Right. Well, I think there's not too much else to really kind of cover here, is there? I feel like man of the match for me is my pretty straightforward pick for me, to be honest with you. It's about as calm as you can probably ask. Thanks, that cup's very cool. But I guess it means you've got me for the last 2 league games of the season. Like I said, if we drew a 1, then I'd have to cover them both, because mathematically we're in the title fight, so we get to cover the next games as well, which is always nice. So you've got me for that one. I'm just pulling up all the little things that I need to pull up here, so you know when these are coming back. There we go, and there's some music in the background. Always next season, guys, exactly that. Alright. I think that's all we need to do. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for taking the time to join us. To all the kind of 20 or so of you that have been in here for the whole stream, very much appreciated. Anyone that's kind of came in and around it, Thank you very much as well. We got the job done today, 3-1 against a very, honestly, kind of subliminally and suppressed Rangers side. They had a very good opening stint of the game and then fell off as it went on. Celtic came alive in the second half and got the job done. Very good to see. Maeda, I love him to death. I mean, nothing else to say. He fucked it with that sitter in the first half and he had another sitter in the second, but either side, a brace is more than good. As long as you score, it doesn't matter if you have a few sitters, as long as you score. And he scored 2 very, very good goals. So we'll take that and run into the next one. Jan scoring the other one as well, the one that got us back into the game, so shout out him as well. The Asian persuasion coming in clutch today, as always. Love to see it. If you want to join us for the next one, you're more than welcome to do so. That will be 3 days from now on Wednesday at around 8 PM for the kick-off, but I'll be live for about 10 or 15 minutes before it, give or take. So if you want to have a little kind of gander in beforehand, or if you want to get in early, that would be the window to do so. But we kick off pretty much around the same time. Usually there's about a minute delay or so. So if you want to join us for that, you're more than welcome to do so. But it ends with a very, very satisfying, well, conclusion for us. We got what we needed done. We got 3 very good points. We're a point behind the title leaders, or the league leaders I should say, the title runners I should say, so we should still be in a fight. All we need to do is in 3 days from now get the job done against Motherwell, and we'll see what happens at the end of the week when we go up against Hearts. It's going to be a very interesting few days for sure, but until then and until next time, you know the drill. Celtic are still the best goddamn team in the world, and of course, until next time, I hope you enjoy yourselves. Hail hail, have a good one and take it easy. We got the job done. Oh, thank you Martin O'Neill once again. You take it easy boys. Hail hail, have a good one. Catch you after. Oh.